Welcome in, everybody, to Fantasy Pros. This is your Week 9 live stream. It is me, Joey P. Joe Pisapia. With me on the Sunday morning, my patty cakes, Pat Fitzmaurice, and it's all of you hanging out here, giving us questions. We've got answers. Drop your comments below. Now, for those of you joining us this morning, just a quick reminder, it is, 10:05, which means till 10:15, the super chats run this thing. So if you've got a super chat, get it in here, because the first 10 minutes, we will guarantee we will answer. After that, all bets are off, but we'll do our best to give you priority. If you are a super chatter here on our YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Drop your comments below. You just might win some free stuff like the Trophy Smack Wall Smack. The Wall Smack is a great way to show off your fantasy football dominance and how much you are a fan of a certain player who maybe won you a championship. How do you win it? Subscribe to the channel. Drop your comments below. And, of course, ring the bell till it goes ding for notifications so you know if you are the big winner. And don't forget to visit Trophy Smack, the #1 store and epic destination for fantasy football trophies. All right, patty cakes. It's Week 9. Your Packers, Jordan Love is starting today. I hope you rub up the groin here. You give a little massage here to your boy Jordan Love before he goes out there today.
I did not, but I gave him rain gear, Joe, because it is going to be a wet forecast for Green Bay.
Oh, that's going to be great for the groin issue. I'm sure that won't make a problem at all. All right, let's get to the questions here. Brother Pickle starts us off. Full PPR, half tight end premium. That's a weird one. You don't see that every day. Sit 1, Tracy, Chase Brown, Ingram, and Njoku. Who's the odd man out for you, Pat?
Oh, man. I guess it's Ingram, despite the tight end premium. I just like the running backs too much, and I'd prefer to start Njoku over Ingram.
Okay, there you go. All right, let's get to Monkey. Monkeys are bananas. Hey, guys, really struggling with this one. Do I start Josh Jacobs or Kareem Hunt? Last week makes me want to pick Jacobs, but he's up against the Lions. So you mentioned the weather being an issue in that one. Is that something where you want to get Jacobs or you don't want to get Jacobs? He wasn't 100% coming into this game either. Kareem Hunt, you imagine a good spot here for him against the Buccaneers. But, Pat, where do you go?
I don't think they're going to feed an unhealthy Jacobs more than 20 carries now that they've got two good options behind him with Emmanuel Wilson and Chris Brooks. So I think Hunt, he just keeps getting into the end zone and keeps getting more than 20 carries every week.
He certainly does. All the old guys, Kareem Hunt, Joe Flacco. Feels like 2016 to me. What a time to be alive. All right, let's go to Neil D. Good morning, bros. Half PPR, must win this week. Who do I start at tight end? Hawkinson, Otten, or Taysom Hill? Let's do that one first. I know I lean to Otten just from the volume. How about you, Pat?
Same. He's Mayfield's number one target now, Joe.
And then need a running back, Chuba, Rico, ATN, and Tank. I have both, and both are playing right now. Or Rashad White. So who's the running back that's in for you in week 9 of this group?
I go with Chuba. Really good matchup. The Saints' run D has not been very good. And even though I feel a little less enthusiastic about Chuba with Bryce Young at quarterback, that's who I go with.
Next up here, Happy Daylight Savings. Yeah, that's right. Extra hour of sleep there. There you go. That's from Flack Attack. Full PPR, need a flex in 2 leagues. Pick one. Allen, ATN, Bigsby, Mondre.
Allen must be Keenan Allen, I'm guessing.
I assume. If it's Josh Allen and it's super flex, we're playing him. So I think it's just, I don't think it is. I assume it's Keenan Allen. Could be Debbie Allen. I mean, I don't know.
I go with Ramondre here. Yeah.
And then what about Waddle, Andrews, Bucky, or Leggett?
Full workload.
I think we're on a delay here. What about Waddle, Andrews, Bucky, or Leggett?
And I know the Waddle. Bills or the Dolphins passing game has not always worked that well against the Bills, but I still think Waddle's the best option.
All right, let's get to AI 3x3. Trade away Henry for London or Amon-Ra. I'm a hard no on that one personally.
Oh, I don't want to trade away Derrick Henry. No, just no.
Yeah, there we go. So we're on the same boat on that one. Let's go to the next one here, which is Stussy, 12-man PPR. My RBs are Kyron, Aaron Jones, and my wide receivers AJ Brown and London. Who should I start at flex? Chuba, Downs, Ridley, or Tracy? I like Downs the most out of that group personally, but maybe you're going to say Chuba.
No, I'd actually go Tracy, Joe. I mean, I know everyone is in love with Downs this week against the Vikings. I don't have a great feeling about the Colts offense going into Minnesota. Really tough place to play. Brian Flores is going to be dialing up all sorts of pressure. I'd rather play Tracy. He's looked sensational, and he's going to play. Got cleared from the concussion protocol. Like I'm kind of big on Tracy this week.
All right, let's get Emily's question here. Kyler or Nix, and then Mooney or Chuba. Pat, where do you want to go?
Kyler and Mooney.
Okay, Kyler and Mooney for you. Let's go to Michael here. Who to start in full PPR? Cooper or Dobbs, and then the Chargers or the Chiefs defense?
Amari and I got to go with the Chargers. Like Winston is probably going to throw at least one interception, you would think. So
you would think. I think the Chiefs are a fine one too. Michael, thank you very much for supporting the channel. All right, let's get to Mitchell's question here. Who should I start, Lamar or Jaden? I love Jaden Daniels, but I can't start him over Lamar. Pat, let's see if we can get you a refresh here, because I think you're very behind on the lag here. While Pat's refreshing here and giving us a quick, I want to make sure I shout out here some more things that we got going on here with my playbook. If you haven't already, make sure you go to fantasypros.com/myplaybook and use the Start Sit Assistant, use the tools, but also use the autopilot feature too. Set it and forget it. That's what we're talking about. It's a situation there where you can make sure that you get an opportunity to get the best players in your lineup. And if there's any last minute guys that you're waiting for game time decisions, but you have a life and you don't have time to sit around with your phone and figure it out, well, that's where autopilot can help you. So make sure you go ahead and use it on my playbook, the incredible site of tools that we have right now available for you. Again, download my playbook wherever and sync your leagues for free. And of course, you can also go to fantasypros.com/myplaybook. And don't forget about the autopilot feature that you can use there on that one. All right, let's see if we get Pat back here in a better spot. And let's get the rest of Mitchell's question here. Also, who to flex, Ladd, Cooper, or Marvin Harrison Jr.?
Oh, man, I've got Harrison ranked a little bit ahead of Ladd. Close call, though. And
Okay,
Cooper
there
just
we go.
third.
And we're back together. Look at us. No more delay. Trevor, who are we starting? Tracy or Ramondre Stevenson this week?
Tracy. I love the guy. He's looked fantastic.
All right. All the Tracy you can have. Legos. A wise and power sage. Oh, this is a good one. We're sages now, Pat. I seek your wise counsel. This is very Lord of the Rings. Of course, it should be more like Legolas instead of Legos. Full PPR, one wide receiver, one flex, JSN, Dobbs, Worthy, Waddle, Chase Brown, Tracy, and B-Rob. So you got to get a wide receiver in here and a flex spot in the PPR. Who are the guys that are in?
Man, for full point PPR, I guess I'm going with Jackson Smith and Jigba over Jalen Waddle. Like, I don't want to. JSN's not been impressive, but with no DK Metcalf, I think he is going to probably catch at least 5 or 6 balls. And then I'm starting Chase Brown. No Zach Moss. He's going to get an enhanced workload in a great matchup against the Raiders.
All right, next up from Ryan. Yo, my guys, 10-team PPR. I need 2 wide receivers, an RB, and a flex. Montgomery, Chase Brown, Tyrone Tracy. Those are the RBs, so let's get the RB in first. Montgomery, right? You got to play Montgomery, right?
Oh, no, I'm playing Chase Brown over him.
Still Chase Brown. Okay.
Montgomery shares work, Joe. I mean,
yeah, but it's good work, man. I mean, those guys are touchdowns galore. I get it.
It's PPR, Joe. He gives you nothing as a pass catcher.
Fair. Okay,
so
that's fair. So
if he doesn't get into the end zone, like, he's not going to be the highest scoring of those running backs. If he
all right, so you got Chase Brown in, then he's got Amon-Ra, London, and Neighbors.
Got to play all those guys. I mean, like, flex whichever, start 2 and flex the other.
There you go. Easy peasy. All right, let's go to Bam's question here. Hey, pros, need some help deciding 3 and 5 in 2 leagues. I need to win this week. Love or Darnold, ATN or Dowdle?
I'm going with Darnold in the dome. And I think I'm going with Rico with no Ezekiel Elliott. He was misbehaving, apparently. So I think Dowdle's going to be the main guy for Dallas in a shootout game against Atlanta.
And then Taysom Hill or Tucker Kraft?
Reluctant Tucker Kraft. If it's standard, I'd maybe swing to Taysom Hill. Like, Taysom Hill always seems to have his best games against the Panthers, but very slightly into
a lot of guys out too. No Bub Means, no Rashid Shaheed anymore.
I know.
No backup RBs. Like, it's the Alvin Kamara show today, folks. Yeah. If you're not invested in Alvin Kamara, I don't know what you're doing in. Hey pros, this is from Cody. Half PPR, Chuba, Olave, Marvin Harrison, or Downs. Who's in? Oh, I'm sorry. Who's out? Bench 1. Who's the odd man out?
Maybe I'd bench Chuba here.
I would,
because I don't love the offense with Young.
Negative game script too. You got to imagine they're behind. They're always behind. All right, let's go to Jerry's question here. PPR need a wide receiver and a flex. Puka, Waddle, Tyrone, Tracy. So a wide receiver and a flex. I assume it's Tracy and Puka.
Yeah, Waddle's the odd man out here.
All right, let's go to Jesse's question. Good morning. What's your thoughts on Deontay Johnson this week? Well, he's only going to play 10 to 15 snaps according to Harbaugh, so that's kind of an issue. Hunt, I think you mean Dobbins, right? Not Donins, and Tracy in my flex.
Yeah, so totally agree with you on Deontay. Not a safe play at all this week. My order of preference there would be Hunt, Tracy, Dobbins. Dobbins has averaged like 3.16 yards per carry over his last 5 games. He seems like he's running out of steam, Joe.
Yep, he was a big sell high a couple weeks ago, but hopefully you listened. Let's go to another Cody question here. Kelsey versus Bowers, week 9 and rest of season.
Yeah, I mean, I've got Kelsey ranked 1 this week and Bowers 2, and yes, you should trade one of those guys if you're having to bench one every week. Bowers and Chuba for McLaurin, Chubb, and Deontay Johnson. Yeah, I mean, I don't have a lot of value on Deontay Johnson, but, getting McLaurin back for one of the spare tight ends, I think is good value.
Well, look, I mean, as prolific as Bowers is from a standpoint of volume, touchdowns are hard to come by for that Raiders team and for Bowers. Nick Chubb would be a big target of mine. I think he's going to get a full workload this week. And I think he's got the bye next week to recover from it. And then I think it's smooth sailing after that, man. He only got to go for 50 yards or more against the Ravens defense against the run this year. Chuba's back. Nick Chubb is back. Sorry, got all those names mixed up for a second there. Let's go to Julie's question here. Please help. I need 1 wide receiver, RB, and a flex. DJ Moore, Tillman, Montgomery, Pollard, Hubbard. There we go.
Yeah,
well, also, should I start Puka Nacua if Keon Coleman is available? I would pick up Keon Coleman anyway, but I would be starting Puka as long as he's on the field. Got to start him.
I would too. Agree with you totally on Puka over Keon, Joe. Here we will start Montgomery along with DJ Moore. And, oh, man, I'm playing Hubbard over Pollard and Tillman. Just like Pollard's health concerns me. The fact that it seems like he is a really borderline, like, does he suit up call. So, yeah, I'm not.
Are you excited about Julius Chestnut? Is that what you're telling me, Pat? Is it is it Chestnut season?
Do we roast chestnuts in an open fire in week 9, Joe? I think we do. I think we do get some Julius Chestnut carries today.
God help us all. Nick's question. My dogs, good morning. PPR, start Waddle, Ridley, Coleman, or Tillman in the flex. So who's in at the flex?
I'm starting Ridley. 15 targets and 10 catches last week. I would love to see Mason Rudolph keep hyper targeting him this year or this week. And DeAndre Hopkins out of the picture. Who else is he going to throw to? Chigo Okonkwo, Tyler Boyd. I think the target outlook is great again.
And then it's Monty or Dowdle this week.
Got to go with Monty.
Okay, still Monty there. Touchdown equity. All right, let's go to Peter's question here. Need RB2 in a flex. Hubbard, Tracy, Olave, Waddle.
It's Tracy and Olave for me.
Agreed. 2 for 2 on this one. Way. Hey, bro, chachos. Struggling with the bad matchup this week. Full PPR. Need an RB and 2 flexes from James Conner, Rashad White, Bucky Irving, JSN, Tillman, and Hawkinson. Well, it ain't Bucky Irving with the toe against the Chiefs. I can tell you that much.
Agree. I think Connor should be the running back. He's been getting pretty consistently around 20 carries a game. I think Rashad White with Bucky maybe ailing and can't really run on the Chiefs, and White is probably got an enhanced target outlook with all the pass catcher injuries. And then I guess JSN in full PPR over. It's always reluctant with JSN.
You know what? I'm more at this point. JSN just infuriates me. I'd play Tillman. But I understand the thought process with JSN with DK out. But like we've seen it before, and it just doesn't. Is JSN just overrated? Like we overrated him? Is that what it is? I don't know.
It seems that way.
Andrew J, 12-man PPR in the flex. Pittman, JSN, or Chubb?
I know the PPR format doesn't really suit him that well, but I'm going with Chubb here. I mean, second game back, they fed him 16 carries. Wouldn't be surprised if he got 20 this week.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm ladder betting him today, right after this show's over. And don't go anywhere because we've got second hour with you this week too. Welsh is back, so we got 2 hours of the stream to get your questions in. Dan O'Donohue, Waddle, Javonte, or Cade Otton? I have McBride in tight end already. Thanks, guys. Well, ain't Javonte against the Ravens, I can tell you that. So you want to play the volume of Otton?
I do want to play Otton, Joe. And like Javonte's not unplayable. The Ravens do give it up in the passing game to running backs, but I think Otton is like he'll continue to get 7 to 10 targets every week, I think.
Vegas has his number at 45.5. That's depressing. And I think it's an under anyway. Jay Lee, Bo Nix, or Kyler Murray. It's a must win.
Whether it's a must win or one you don't need at all, I'm going with Kyler Murray over Bo Nix. I know the matchup looks good on paper for Nix. I don't want to play a rookie quarterback in Baltimore. I just don't.
Nope. Against the Ravens coming off a loss.
Yeah.
You know it's going to be angry Ravens today. You just know it's coming. Chris, half PPR, bench 3, must start 1 RB. So who's the RB we want in here? Chubb, Dobbins. Well, I mean, I think it's Chubb for me. You agree? Right? We're there.
Yeah. Well, I'd start, I think, both Chubb and Dobbins. And if I'm benching 3, the 3 I would bench would be the last 3, probably Hopkins, Dobbs, and Sutton. Dobbs for sure. I don't want to start Dobbs in the rain in Green Bay.
All right, let's go to Michael's question here. Hey, fellas, happy Sunday. Standard scoring. Would you go Tracy, Chase Brown, or Chuba?
Chase Brown.
Also, standard scoring, BTJ or Chris Olave? I'm taking Olave today.
Got to go Olave. We don't even know for sure if Brian Thomas is going to play.
Well, I just saw recently that they seem like everyone's giving it a go today.
They think he will play. Yeah, I know.
Bigsby, Brian Thomas, everybody's giving it a go except Gabe Davis so far. Now, again, giving it a go doesn't mean productive. It means they're playing hurt. So just keep that in mind. Shorty, full PPR. McBride, Bowers is my tight end. Chuba, Tracy, or Dowdle?
I think I'm probably going with McBride here. Close call between McBride and Tracy.
Carl Martin, Tyrone Tracy Jr., or Zay Flowers for the flex?
Tracy. I just don't know how the target situation is going to shake out with Baltimore this week, Joe.
Right in two. Good morning. Half PPR, flex BTJ, Bucky Irving, Sam Laporta, or Leggett.
I'm going with Brian Thomas Jr. here. And you have a pivot late with Laporta if Thomas doesn't play. So
Hunt or Downs. I think you got to play Hunt with the volume, right? In the half PPR.
No, not me, Joe. I'm
still
Hunt,
Downs.
20 plus carries, Kareem, every week, and he keeps scoring touchdowns. Like, I'm playing Hunt over Downs, no question. Everyone else likes.
I just said the same thing.
I thought you said Downs, Joe. I'm sorry.
I said you got to play Hunt over Downs with the volume. I said.
Oh yes, okay, absolutely.
Yeah. That's okay. I want to be holding hands with you, Pat. I want to be friends today on the live stream. Full PPR, pick 2, Chuba, Chase Brown, and Monty.
I'm sitting Chuba here.
Okay, I'm with you on that one. All right, next one, flex, JSN, Shakir, or Tillman. It's the bottom here for silver.
Man,
I'm having fun with Tillman, man. I'd rather the unknown than the guys that drive me crazy at this point. That's where I'm at.
If it's full PPR, I go JSN, but otherwise I'm okay with the Tillman call.
Yeah, let's go. I just kick the tires on Tillman trades too. Mike Barker, good morning, bros. Thank you for the amazing content. Thanks for joining us, Mike. Kyler or Flacco today?
Kyler, I don't like the Flacco matchup in Minnesota at all, and I would rather have D-Hop over Deontay Johnson rest of the season.
There you go. Look at you. So efficient. Let's go to Shannon's question here. Hi, pros. Worthy or Coleman in the PPR?
I go with Worthy. I just don't think we can count on the target total for Keon. He's been making plays on
2 weeks in a row now.
Yeah, he is a playmaker. I mean, his ball skills are crazy, but I think I'd go with Worthy. I know he's not been getting giant target counts either, but I still feel a little bit better about him. And then pick 2, I'm going with Chase Brown and Hunt.
Yeah, it's a good problem to have. You got some nice depth that's going to serve you well as you get to these bye weeks coming up here in 12 and 14. Apocalypse is upon us. Start adding depth now. Michael Scarrett, flex, start Ladd, Dowdle, Bigsby, or Bucky. No Bucky. It's Loud or Dowdle for me.
I'd play Ladd. I mean, we're getting such a safe target floor with him every week, and we saw the ceiling last week.
The boss, 2-part question. Full PPR, Kraft or Ertz?
Kraft. And
then Shakir or Coleman?
Shakir, just more targets. Do you agree on that one, Joe, or would you rather go?
It's funny since they've acquired Amari Cooper, I thought Keon Coleman was going to become,
right,
like persona non grata, and he's been smashing. And I think it's because he's just in these single coverages where he could just go over guys. And it depends on the rest of my lineup. I think Shakir, I agree, is probably the safer play. But if I need a little bit extra, I think I'd roll the dice here with Keon Coleman. I think it's more relative to, like, if you're behind, like you were playing Garrett Wilson this week or something, you're already kind of behind. Maybe you play Keon Coleman, and you kind of throw some stuff at the wall. Next one from R. Salas, need to sit one. So who's out? Chase Brown, Cooper Kupp, London, or Connor?
Ooh. Connor. I mean, yeah, tough. No matter who you sit, you're sitting someone really good, but I would sit Connor there.
All right, next up is Todd. Full PPR, pick 1, wide receiver and a flex. Puka, Ladd, Tillman, Tracy, BTJ.
Puka and Tracy. Okay, and then, and he said he could pivot. So, yeah, I would pivot to Brian Thomas Jr. if Puka's out.
Puka's not out, though. Puka is playing, so...
No, I know. Like they said, he's going to try to give it a go. It seems like there's maybe a small, tiny chance that he could not go, but yeah.
I don't know.
All reports say he's going, yeah.
Enrico Palazzo, friend of the show. Good morning, my fine fellows. Who's the odd man out? I actually know Enrico. I know who this is. McLaurin, Reed, and Devonta Smith. Otten, McBride, thanks. Who's the odd man out of this grouping here? Very interesting.
Yeah, another instance where this is going to be a painful bench, no matter who you said. I guess it would be Otten for me.
Agreed. Otten would be the way I go to. I love the Eagles today. By the way, more and more against this Jacksonville team that it's just
yes.
They are so banged up, man. Like, I'm starting to really like this Eagles grouping. All right, next up here, thank Devin here. Thank you very much, my friend. Let's go to the Wet Bandit. Just singular, not plurals. It's either Marv or Harry. I don't know which one we're talking to. We're getting close to Home Alone season, Pat. PPR, Pittman or Chubb?
I'm going with Chubb.
Agreed. Tillman, Amari, or Dowdle for the flex?
Man, I'm actually going with Rico here. I think the touch floor is the safest. I just don't know. Like, Tillman could continue to be great, Joe, but I don't know. I also feel like there's a scenario where he only gets 4 or 5 targets.
Sure. Look, I think the interesting thing with the Chargers too is I think the Chargers are a bit of a product of their early schedule, and they kind of were better than people thought they would be. And then like their run defense, oh wow, look statistically they're so good. And then like, a couple weeks ago they give up 101 to Connor, and maybe they're not so good anymore. Like I'm just saying, like maybe they were kind of like Seattle, a little bit of a product of early schedule, maybe not as good as people think. I wouldn't be surprised if Cleveland wins today, and Tillman continues to look better than people realize. Chewy Riff, PPR, Lockett or Flowers?
Flowers for me.
Also, when you look ahead for that Tillman schedule, a lot of tough corners coming up. Like this is that last week where you kind of feel okay about starting him. There's a lot of bad corner matchups for him. 2 Pittsburgh matchups, Denver coming up. So like that's why I keep saying like kick the tires. You got gold in your pockets. You crushed last week. See how much it's worth on the open market. Old Jay running Pitts or McConkey in the flex. I think it's McConkey, right?
I'm going with Ladd here. I know Pitts has been hot the last 4 games, but he has benefited from a run of really good matchups against teams that don't defend tight ends well.
All right. Jacob, flex 2, Hawkinson, Elijah Moore, Deontay, or Coker, or Pierce. So who's in? 2 guys.
Hawkinson and Coker. I mean, I know Debro loves Coker. I maybe don't love him quite as much as Debro does, but the Saints cornerbacks, like not a very good group. So maybe Coker is the guy this week for the Panthers. I don't know what being the guy for Carolina means, but
well, it means garbage time touchdowns. I'm fine with that. Elijah Moore with the target volume in the last 2 weeks. I like Moore and Coker. I like a little bit of that touchdown equity that maybe Coker gives you and a little bit of the floor from a PPR standpoint that Moore gives you. Because I don't think Deontay is going to be on the field enough. Pierce is too much of a dart throw, and it's Hawkinson's first game back. So that's how I play this one personally. Slow-Mo Joe, full PPR, need 3. Reed, Flowers, Downs, Moore, and Waddle. Pick the 3.
Reed, Downs, Moore.
Good. Emmanuel is up next. Emmanuel, need an RB really bad for this weekend. Only ones on the wire. Elliott. Well, no, he's not because he ain't playing. Chandler, P. Ryan, Tyler Johnson. I have Charbonnet as an RB2. Oh, God. Well, is Julius Chestnut available, Emmanuel? Because that's the guy I'd be adding.
Yeah, I agree. If Chestnut is out there, and I think there's a chance he will be. Otherwise, I guess I would go Charbonnet.
Well, yeah. But see if Chestnut's out there, because that's the only way to go here. Next is Devin Adams, Tracy or Downs in the flex.
Oh, Joe, I know this is going to be a split decision with us. I'm going Tracy. Okay. You're going Downs.
That's fine. Shorty, I need someone to drop at the end of my bench rest of season. Braylon Allen, I have Hall, Rico, Tillman, or Keon Coleman. Ooh.
Yeah, I'm still dropping Braylon even with the handcuff thing.
I would too. But yeah, that's tough. I get it. Start 1 in the RBs is from Pokemon. Chuba, Pollard, MHJ, or Ladd.
In full PPR, Harrison. Oh, RB and flex. So Harrison would be the flex, and I would go Chuba over the not fully healthy Tony Pollard.
Nicholas Bowers is my tight end. Start 1, Dobbins, Romeo, or Hawkinson.
Even with tight end premium, Nicholas, I'm still going with Dobbins here.
Okay. Next up here is 2 Swift, 12-team full PPR, flex 2, Chuba, Dobbins, Ladd.
Yeah, in full PPR, Dobbins is the sit for me, I think.
Agreed.
Chuba and Ladd.
Grits is up next. Thank you. Standard League, pick 1 wide receiver and 1 flex. Josh Downs, Coleman, Tillman, Stevenson, and Tracy. So Tracy's in at the flex, so give me a wide receiver.
Josh Downs.
There you go. See, now we're all happy. See? Gage Gibson, Mooney or Myers, Pollard or Connor.
I'm going Mooney and that Atlanta-Dallas game, which I think could turn into a shootout. Dallas's defense has been pretty terrible without Micah Parsons. And then Connor over Pollard.
All right. Next up here in the stream, we've got, let's see, don't give him the stick. Need 2 to start in the PPR. Monty, Hubbard, Downs, Shakir.
Monty and Downs.
Monty and Downs. This is from B-Boys. Drop Deontay for a kicker. Boswell, Pittsburgh defense on a bye. Start Bigsby or Javante?
So I guess he doesn't need the kicker this week.
I'm not dropping Deontay for a
Yeah,
kicker. I'll take the zero,
same
bro.
here. Same
Screw
here.
it. Take the 0.
Yeah, and I'm starting Javante over Bigsby. I know the matchup isn't great, but maybe Javante can give you something in the passing game. Bigsby, not a great matchup either.
Steel Will, 12-person full PPR. RBs are Taylor and Pollard. Wide receivers are London and AJ Brown. Who should I flex? Tracy, Brian Thomas, Ladd, or JSN? Feels like Tracy for you.
It is Tracy for me. Is it Tracy for you, Joe, or do you?
Yeah, look, I think Tracy's the better running back. My only concern is when guys come off a concussion, what's the workload? And also, you get hit again, you're out for a long time. So that's the only reservation I have about Tracy. I know it's football. You can't worry about these things, but I worry about these things. Yep. Boo Ryan, Caleb Williams or Patrick Mahomes this week. Well, that was a fun one.
Yeah, I know Mahomes has been disappointing every week, but I would play him this week. I think the matchup, everyone lights up Tampa Bay, Joe. Like, yes, look at they keep making
look at the
Kirk
500
Cousins,
yards from
Kirk Cousins, 8 of his 14 touchdowns against Tampa Bay. So I'm going with him, and I'm going Eckler over Christian Watson in the flex.
All right. Oh, there you go. You already got the second one. Look at you. You're so efficient. Let's go to Andres V. Hey, pros, have Jordan Love and lost last week by 3 points. Ooh, that's a tough one. Should I start him this week too, or too much of a risk? Gino, Bo, or Flacco in the half PPR options?
Yeah, I mean, I have Gino ranked ahead of Love. I want to like Love, Joe, but it's rainy and he's not fully healthy. So the two and we're not talking about like sprinkles in Green Bay. We're talking about steady rain throughout the game.
Yeah, I agree with you, Pat. We're in the same mind again. All right, let's get to Orlando's question here. Full PPR, tight end, Hawkinson or Kincaid?
Oh, man, I've got Kincaid ranked like one spot higher, but that's almost a coin flip. And
then Hunt or McConkey?
I'm going with Hunt.
Agreed. Boy, Kareem Hunt's been really good. Cedric Kearney, half PPR, Mahomes or Prescott?
Yeah, I mean, I feel silly because Mahomes never finishes as a top 10, but I've got him ranked QB6. So I'm going with Mahomes over Dak, and I'm going with Jonathan Taylor over Chubb.
Okay, next here, I can't. Still Chubb for me. Jonathan Taylor.
Over Jonathan Taylor?
You love Jonathan Taylor. You and I are very opposite ends on the Taylor thing. I just think Flacco's going to be slinging the ball all over the place. Full PPR, 2, Myers, Madison, or Chuba? I think it's Myers and Hubbard.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, Madison, he is getting like 20 touches a game, but it's the Raiders.
Yeah, but he's running him into the line for 2 yards.
Yes,
I mean, they're just rough right now. That's interesting that you had Mahomes all the way up at 6. You bring up a really good point though, too. So where do you have Mahomes and Cousins this week, out of curiosity?
I have Mahomes ranked. I mean, I'm going with the guy who's the vastly superior quarterback, Joe. So I've got Mahomes at QB6 and Cousins at QB9.
Well, that's the trick right at this point. Now, where do you have Tracy ranked, out of curiosity too? Because that's another one where
RB20.
RB20 for Tracy. So that's pretty high up on that trough too. All right. Especially, so is he over Jacobs and Pollard this week?
He's over Pollard, not over Jacobs.
Okay. Just trying to get a sense here for the people as we continue to look ahead to the questions. Let's get Dan's question in here. Terrible options. I like when we start off and we're being realistic. Deep league, need 1, half PPR. ATN, Bigsby, Christian Watson, Tucker Kraft, or Jalen Coker?
I mean, I'm playing Bigsby if he plays, and if not, I guess he's got pivots. He could pivot to the Packers. So yeah, it would still be,
even Bigsby, though ATN looks like he's going to be playing today. You're still going Bigsby.
Yeah, I mean, Bigsby I think is now their main early down back.
Okay.
And he's been good.
Jenny's up here. Morning, y'all. Made a trade. I have Calvin Ridley in flex. So tight end Ingram or Taysom Hill? I'm playing Ingram.
Me too.
He's like ironically, he's the only healthy guy now. He was the guy that wasn't healthy all season. Now all of a sudden he is. And then RB, Irving or Cook?
Well, Cook for sure.
Oh, no. Yeah, okay. And then wide receivers, Waddle and okay, there you go. So there you go. I think we're all set with those questions there. Let's go, Mr. Pilot. Full PPR, Tillman or Mooney?
Mooney.
Njoku or Kraft?
Got to go Njoku. I know he's not fully healthy. Maybe re-aggravated that high ankle sprain a little bit, but like Njoku with the way Jameis throws it around, man. 41 pass attempts last week.
All right, let's go to the tight ends here. Run Kincaid or Hawkinson.
Oh, man. Again, I've got Kincaid ranked one spot higher, but I do think that one is a true coin flip, Kincaid versus Hawk. It sounds like you're being a little conservative on Hawk, Joe, in his first game back.
Yeah, I mean, I think we should be, right? I mean, when you see
but
guys come back from knee surgeries, we kind of, kid gloves a little bit.
What about him versus Kincaid?
I don't love either, to be honest. Like,
yeah.
a tight end has been rough. I mean, I'd rather play Cade Otton than both of them, to be honest, by a country mile this week.
Oh,
but
sure.
I think I'm with you. I'd play Kincaid. I'm just gonna play the healthier guy and hope for the best. But the problem is now with all those the wide receiver options are starting to open up for Buffalo, and I feel like Kincaid is kind of fading a little bit to the background. Chris B, thank you guys for your advice last week. Full PPR, looking for help in 2 in the flex between Tillman, Tracy, Ramondre, Dowdle, and so it's really 1 because you're already starting Tracy. I know that. So Tillman, Ramondre, Dowdle, or Tolbert.
I'd go with Ramondre. Just the safe touch floor.
Okay. This is from Tumek. Hello, guys. Stafford or Love? I'm playing Stafford.
Same.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Henry or Kraft?
So there I would play Kraft over Henry. I mean, and I know May has kind of leaned on Henry heavily, but I'm still going Kraft there.
All right, here we go. Goff in the bad weather with 349 box mix or Goff in bad weather? I don't know what 349. Oh, Bo Nix. It says box mix, literally. So I'm just reading. I'm like Ron Burgundy. I just read what's in front of me. So 349.
It might have been one of those voice to text things that.
Well, I thought he was making like a dump cake or something. My cousin's making a pumpkin dump cake today. Delicious. Can't wait for that. That's later for dessert. So we're definitely having that. So you want to go with Bo Nix or Goff?
I do want to go Bo Nix, even though I do have concerns. Like the matchup is pretty good. Goff, you get 2 concerns: weather and the fact that they've been insanely run heavy, and maybe the weather makes them even run heavier than they have been.
Michael G, pick 2, DJ Moore, Tillman, Flowers.
I'm going with Moore and Flowers.
Moore and Flowers. Moore hasn't necessarily been lighting it up either, target share wise.
I know, but we know how talented he is, Joe. Like
I know, but they got to throw him the football. This is not the Justin Fields, DJ Moore combination.
Right.
This is not what we saw last year. I'm just saying, like, I agree with you, but DJ Moore has been frustrating. John Williams, full PPR, Stafford or Murray?
I got to go with Murray. I got to go with the guy who runs. Like, it's close, but I'm break ties in favor of the
Seahawks today.
Really?
I'm so high on Stafford. I'm so heavily invested in the Stafford today. Especially with Puka too. Oh, just give it to me. Flex, BTJ, Flowers, or Pollard?
Oh man, like if Thomas is if he's active, I'm starting him. And you, as you said, Joe, you seem confident he's going to be active, so I would play him.
Well, that's the latest that I just saw out there before we came onto the show. So that was the best we can get. Now, look, everybody, too. I see the super chats in here. Again, we can't guarantee we get to everybody today, so just understand that. So we are well past. So we gave you 20 minutes. So we said 10, but you know me, I say things sometimes. And we gave you 20 minutes of the guaranteed super chat. So again, anyone after this in this hour, we can't guarantee them in hour 2. We'll guarantee them for the first 10 minutes. We get so many questions here, and we appreciate all your questions and hanging out with us. Just letting you all know. We're getting to as many as we can, but the super chats are only guaranteed for the first 10 minutes. We just did 20 guaranteed minutes, actually a little bit more, and we will continue to do that in hour 2 for the first 10 minutes of hour 2. Next up here is Jimmy's in the Clouds, full PPR 1 flex. Hubbard, Pollard, Otton, Ingram, and a tight end. You got a flex and a tight end.
I'm going to play Chuba with one of those spots, and then Ingram by a nose over Otton. I've got Ingram ranked 1 spot higher. Are you tempted to play Otton over Chuba?
I'm tempted to play both tight ends.
Yeah, I just can't.
No Christian
do it.
Kirk, no Gabe Davis. Like, I think Ingram's against the secondary is a good matchup. The linebackers suck for the Eagles too. I'm not a big fan of that. John's question here: 2 flex spots and a half PPR. Pick 2: Shepard, Elijah Moore. I believe you mean Tolbert, not Colbert, unless you want to start Stephen Colbert. Leggett, slim pickings. Yes, agreed.
So it would be Tolbert and Leggett for me. I mean, Tolbert as the second receiver for Dallas and what could be a shootout.
You're not worried about the toe issue for Leggett?
Yeah, a little bit. But I mean, like Shepard, we don't even know if he's going to play. And Elijah Moore, like man, I don't
Moore's
know.
been
But,
consistent the last 2 weeks. Like
he
it or
has
not,
been.
it's been very to me. If you're looking for the floor, it's Elijah Moore and Leggett. Like that's the way I would go today personally.
Leggett over Tolbert for you?
I would, especially if you think Dowdle's going to work a little bit more too in the passing game. Like maybe you get a little bit of that in Ferguson. This could be a good matchup for him. Here's a question too. He's got 2 Packers defense. Stay with them or pick up another one. Atlanta, New England, Titans, Lions, or Tampa. I don't want Tampa. New England is intriguing against.
Oh yeah,
that's the one I would go to.
Yeah. Oh, I want New England against. Look, like you don't want defenses that go against run heavy teams because there aren't many ways for defenses to score against a run. It's just a fumble against the pass. You get interception, sacks, or whatever. That game is going to be, the Lions are going to be so run heavy in that game.
All right. Sun God, full PPR, Stevenson or Dobbins? Stevenson, right?
I have got, they're right next to each other for me. I actually do have Dobbins ranked like 1 spot higher there, but that's really close.
Mac Fam, trade Devontae, Rashad White, Brooks for Kelsey and Kyron. Yes.
Oh, yeah. In a heartbeat. Brooks has no value, man. Brooks is like, everyone thinks he's going to be some sort of savior. No, he's not.
All right, let's go to Dylan Smith, full PPR. Downs or Tracy, Cortland Sutton or Waddle?
I'm going Tracy over Downs, Joe. We've established that. And
the answer to that one, yes.
Yeah, Waddle. I wrestle with Waddle versus Sutton. I think in PPR.
I think Sutton. I mean, the Ravens secondary is trashed.
Yeah, I think so too. Neither guy is safe. Wide range of outcomes for both.
No, neither is safe. That's the best way to put it. Brian B, Love or Stafford? I'm Stafford this week.
Me too.
All right. Okay. Let's go to Gareth's question here. Wide receiver, 2 in a standard. Hopkins versus Tampa, Cooper or Waddle? I think Cooper has the most touchdown equity of these 3.
Yeah, I would go with Cooper here also.
Standard. That's what you're chasing, touchdowns. Julius, 10-man PPR, Hopkins, Coleman, or Pittman? Is this the Hopkins? Is this it? It feels like this is it, right? Hopkins time, right?
Yeah, Hopkins by a nose over Pittman. This is really close. PPR devalues Coleman for sure, but Hop versus Pittman is really tight. I like Hop a little more.
All right, Bengals or Saints?
All right. Sorry, Joe. I have to consult my rankings here. Oh, I'm going the Saints against the Panthers.
Saints,
absolutely.
Consult what rankings? Screw the Bengals.
Yeah.
Then Reed or DJM? DJ Moore or Reed?
Even in the rain,
Reed will touch the ball in the rain.
Yes, yes.
He'll get some jet sweeps. Yeah.
I'm going with Reed, and then I've got Jacobs ranked 1 spot ahead of Monty. That one is basically well, who's gonna share touches more, Joe? Like Monty,
you're right.
You know, Gibbs sharing with Gibbs versus sharing with Emmanuel Wilson. You know,
hey man, if they beat the Lions today, they're right back in this thing here. Downs or Reed?
It's Reed for me.
Yeah, still Reed for me too. It's risky, but I would go. Emily's question: Mooney or BTJ?
I'm going with Mooney. Say the healthier option.
Brian Worrell, full PPR flex. Dowdle, Shakir, or Robinson?
Robinson, I'm assuming is Brian Robinson. I'm going with Brian Robinson here. They said he's going to play, and he's been terrific this season.
Sure has. Cody, should I drop Baker for Dak, Stafford, or Williams?
Yeah, I mean Baker.
Yes.
Evans and Godwin were not coincidental to Baker Mayfield's success this season. I would rather. Who would you rather have rest of season?
I want Stafford this week. So if I'm streaming quarterbacks, let's just stream quarterbacks. Give me Stafford right now.
Agreed.
And then I'll worry about next week.
Agree.
That's what I'm doing. Let's go to Ryan's question here. Pick 3, looking for upside, playing against a juggernaut of a team. May, BTJ, Tillman, Mostert, Coker, Taysom Hill, or Dobbins. So 3 are in. So a super flex, obviously. So I always want the quarterback. So we want to play Drake May.
For sure. And
2 spots left.
Then Brian Thomas Jr. I mean, there's certainly upside with him. And I'd say Tillman too. You're probably on board with all that?
I'm on board. Let's do Abraham, friend of the show. Chase Brown, Myers, or Johnson as the flex?
Oh, Chase Brown. I mean, Chase Brown is like I think I've got him RB13 this week.
Okay. Fred Mann, Dowdle or Tracy for the flex?
Tyrone Tracy.
You going to get a jersey after the show for Tyrone Tracy?
I
Hawkinson or Njoku from Mr. Beanstalk again?
Njoku. Let's get a show me game from Hawkinson before we play him over a
with
really, really good tight end option.
Dab is up. I wish I could say the whole name. Desperate for a back, Roshan or ATN?
I'm going with ETN.
You have to.
Yeah, Roshan, your only chance of value is him falling into the end zone. That is it.
That's a lot to ask. Full PPR, Brian Thomas Jr. or Lad McConkey?
I'm actually going with Lad here over the guy who might not be completely healthy. And plus, I just don't like the Jaguars' outlook against the Eagles today, Joe, and I know you feel the same.
Tracy or B-Rob for the start today?
I've got Tracy ranked one spot higher. That is very close to a coin flip. More.
And then would you start the other one over Moore in the flex? I assume that's what you mean here, Nick.
Over DJ. Yeah, I would start both running backs.
All right, there you go. Next up is Cry Rodriguez. I hope I said it right there. Start 3 RB, a wide receiver, and a flex. You got Bigsby, Ramondre, Tillman, Worthy, Coleman, Flowers, Tracy. So Tracy's your RB. Then you have an RB, wide receiver, and a flex left.
Yeah, Ramondre would be my flex, and I would play Tillman. And then at quarterback, I'm going Knicks over Goff.
Yeah, and the weather certainly feels right. Let's go to Stan. Please pick 2 PPR. Chase Brown, Puka, Devontae, Monty, or Olave.
Oh, so many delicious options here, Joe. I'm going Chase Brown, and I would go Olave over even Puka this week.
That's fair with the injury. That's fair.
Oh, he's going to be hyper-targeted. Derek Carr's back. The Panthers are
nobody else to throw it
defense. To. Right.
Full PPR. Need a flex. Reed, Madison, McMillan, or Tillman. I think it's Reed.
I'm going with Reed. Yeah.
Okay. Next up here, let's do Mr. Slappy, Tillman or Amari.
I like Amari here just a little bit more. I mean, go with the guy with the proven track record rather than the guy who's done it for 2 games.
All right. Let's also remind everybody we got some fun games going on here, including Knockout. So Knockout takes luck, injuries, bad drafts, all those terrible things about fantasy football, and it throws them out the window. You get a new lineup every single week. So no more busted drafts, no more season-killing injuries. You pick a new lineup every single week, but here's the catch. You can only pick one player one time. The lowest score every week gets eliminated, and the winner takes all. So unlike traditional fantasy leagues, you don't have to be the best. You just have to not be the worst. So pick your strategy and do your best to survive. Click the link in our description below for Knockout Fantasy. It's right in the description. We want you to go and play and hang out there and check that out today. Again, Knockout Fantasy Sports seems like a pretty fun time, so go check that out. Let's get back to your questions. And Brian's question up next, DJ Moore or BTJ?
I'm going with DJ Moore.
All right. Next up is Emmanuel, friend of the show. Chestnut, even with Pollard playing?
Well, Pollard is playing, but you would figure he's not going to get an entirely full workload. The matchup against the Patriots is pretty good. Like, I mean, I feel okay. I've got Chestnut ranked like RB 39, so it's not like I'm over the moon about Chestnut, but I do think he's going to get some work.
Let's go to Jungle Rumbler. I want to dance like MJ today. BTJ or Reed?
I'm going with Jaden Reed in the rain. You know, maybe that slows down defenders on some of those jet sweeps and little throws.
Yeah, I agree. Correct. Because of weather, full PPR start Reed, Tillman, or D-Hop.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not necessarily downgrading Reed because of the weather.
Right.
He's the one, like, he gets the easy touches. It's the guys like Christian Watson who,
if anything, he might see some more of that kind of work, which is really interesting. Right. Get the ball in his hands. Salty Dalty, risk it all for the biscuit and start Coker over Amon-Ra St. Brown. No.
Oh, no.
I get it, but I mean, this is a bro. I'm broing you. I'm sorry. Yep. You know, you paid for it, Salty. You're the first person to pay for the bro. Congratulations. You've been broed. Bro, come on, man. It's your first overall pick. You can't sit him for a guy you just got off the waiver wire. You can play Coker as a flex, but if your team is that good, then you got other problems. You don't have any problems, actually. What am I saying? You got no problems. Let's go to Robert, friend of the show, in standard. Jacobs or Hunt?
Hunt. 20 carries in his back pocket and a touchdown every week.
Tillman or Hopkins?
Tillman by a nose.
By a nose. Dilpreet, need 2 flex. Sutton, Hubbard, Tillman, or Tolbert?
It's Hubbard and Sutton for me, Joe.
All right. Next up here is Fast Eddie. Thank you very much, Fast Eddie. Appreciate you. Let's go to Native. Full PPR. Need upside. Monty, Chase Brown, Tracy Jr. So sit one of them. So who's out?
Joe, you're going to hate
Monty,
this,
right?
but in full PPR, I am sitting Monty because there is no pass
No, I
catching
get it.
upside with Monty.
I get it. When he has 3 touchdowns today, you can apologize later. It's going to be Peter because you know that's in the range of outcomes.
What
you
is?
know he's going to be
No
full
question.
of mud. You can't even read the Montgomery on the back of his jersey, and there is just going to be 3 touchdowns.
It could happen.
Peter G, Mooney, Olave, Ladd, or Reed need 2.
Going with Olave and Reed.
Yep, that's my 2 also. So there you go. Constance. Good day, gentlemen. 3-man bench, half PPR, drop Baker for Caleb, Winston, Nix, Darnold. So who's the best pickup there? I think Darnold's the best play this week of that grouping.
I do too. I'm with you, and we're playing one at a time. I like Jameis more than other people do this week, but I still have him ranked behind Darnold, and just play for this week if you're streaming quarterbacks.
Thanks, Constance. We appreciate you watching all the shows. Let's go to Desona, full PPR, start 2, Hubbard, Brian Robinson, and Tracy. So Tracy's in, so start 1.
Yeah, I've got these guys ranked within 4 spots of each other. Robinson ahead of Hubbard.
All right, let's go to Adrian's question here. We have pick 3, half PPR, Tillman, JSN, Ramondre, Rico, or Bucky. Well, Bucky's out. So you got 3. We got 4 guys for 3 spots.
Yeah, and Bucky would be the other guy. Well, actually,
Bucky with the toe against the Kansas City Chiefs. He is not a start this week.
Yeah, sorry, not Bucky. I meant well, I'm looking at Rico. Yeah, you know what, Joe? For me, it would be Ramondre, Rico.
I'm playing the RBs and Tillman. I know you're going to hate that.
I would play the RBs and JSN.
I know.
So it's a tough call between JSN and Tillman. I agree. It's a close call.
I'm tired of JSN. It's week 9 and I'm sick and tired. Yeah. James here. What's up, James? Big spender, full PPR. Start Chubb, Brian Robinson, or Dowdle. It's Chubb for me.
It's Robinson for me, especially in full PPR, Joe. There's who's more likely to catch a
I assume it's Brian Robinson, not Bijan Robinson.
Right, Brian. Yeah, I'm still playing Brian over Chubb.
I'm Team Chubb. I think Chubb smashes today. Monty is my other RB. Ridley in the flex, but should I start one of these guys over Ridley as well? Okay, so I mean, do you want to start the 2 running backs over Ridley? I know Ridley had an amazing target share last week, but can we count on that? And Christian Gonzalez is a pretty good corner. I'm of the mind that's your opportunity to get out of the Ridley business.
Yeah, boy, full PPR, that is a close call for me, Joe.
Yards are yards, touchdowns are touchdowns. I'm still going with Chubb.
I'm still going with Ridley, I think, over Chubb.
All right. He had one good game. Last week was all of his targets for the year combined. Pretty much. And I'm not even being hyperbolic. It's 3 different.
But I mean, maybe that's kind of the new, maybe that is the new paradigm for the Titans and for Mason Rudolph, though, just hyper targeting Ridley every week.
Don't like the corner matchup either. Christian Gonzalez is a pretty good player. Matt G, start 2, Sutton, Chubb, Stevenson, Ridley, Wandale. Need flex of the PPR.
And we're right back to the debate
I'm starting
here.
The RBs.
Yeah, so for me, it's Stevenson and Ridley.
All right. It's Calvin Ridley. Steven Drake's half PPR, Hunt or Chuba?
Hunt.
Coker or McMillan? It's Coker because McMillan's not healthy.
Yeah, that's a real close one. I would defer to you, Joe. I mean, Coker's in the slot,
you can
right?
Wait for a bad news Monday night about McMillan.
And how many slot receivers have just destroyed Alontae Taylor in the Saints? Everyone wrecks Alontae Taylor. So
full PPR, Puka or Tyrone Tracy? If Puka's playing, I can't not start Puka.
In full PPR, I'm with you, Joe.
And then what about Dak or Baker? I'd play Dak this week.
Dak, no question.
Just more weapons to hopefully help. Chase, for last flex spot, Bigsby, Tolbert, Leggett, or Adunze? I know what you're going to say. You're going to say Bigsby, aren't you?
Yeah, I think I am. I am. If it's full point PPR, I might pivot to Rome there.
All right. Yeah, I could see Rome in the second half kind of
coming on. Over. Sure.
Yeah. He's one of my buy lows right now. Just putting that out there for the people. Juan's question, PPR pick 2 for the flex, Moore, Pollard, Mooney, Stevenson.
In full PPR, I would play Moore and Mooney. And then
all right, what about Chiefs or Detroit defense?
I'm going with the Chiefs. Again, I do not want to start a defense in what could be a run-heavy game, and I think Green Bay and Detroit is going to be pretty run-heavy because of the weather.
The franchise down a bad start 3 out of Dowdle, Madison, or Coleman. Well, that's 3 guys. So
that's 3. But my order of preference here would be Madison, Dowdle, Coleman.
Well, Madison above Dowdle and Coleman?
Yes. Joe, I mean, Coleman, like, we cannot count on targets for him. Like, I know he's been hot, but like
Madison over all those guys.
Yeah, Madison's been getting like 20 touches a game, and I know it hasn't amounted to anything yet, but like I'm not scared of the Cincinnati defense.
Oh, I get it, but still. Fast Eddie for week 9. Debro, Joe P, or Fitz. Pick 2. Well, clearly me and Fitz. That's the easiest.
Exactly. Yes, sit Debro.
That's not easy. Servando. Need 2. Downs, McLaurin, Aaron Jones, Hopkins, or Chubb. Ooh, I want to play Jones and Chubb, but yeah. Jones and McLaurin good too.
Jones and Chubb. Yeah, I'm playing Jones and McLaurin personally.
That's probably the first grouping there. Let's go to Julie G. Hi again. Chargers or Saints defense? I think you always play the Saints defense. You play any defense against the Bryce Young led Carolina Panthers.
I don't know, Joe. Like Jameis Winston is such an interception machine, though. Like I've got the Chargers ranked.
Can also hang 4. A 40 burger on you. So that's Bryce Young hanging 40 burgers on anybody. Like that's we think you'd be doing that and eating W's. You and I both know like that's in the range of outcomes. I'm not leaving it to that.
I agree. They're both like great options. I mean, I have the Chargers ranked 4th and the Saints 6th. So it's hard to go wrong there, but I've got the Chargers ranked a little higher.
All right. In just a minute, we're going to change over here with the Welsh and Tom Strachan taking over from here. So don't go anywhere. And again, the first 10 minutes of that hour, we will guarantee the super chats. We don't guarantee them the whole show. We do our best the first 10 minutes. I know I went long, but that's okay. This is what we do. We're here for you. Let's go to Mr. Tyler J. Hey, guys, non-PPR, should I play Algiers, guarantee touches, or go with the hope that Cooper gets more involved? I want to live in the hope.
Me too. I'm going Cooper.
All right, there you go. Hope is the way forward. The Has-Been Club. Phil 2 in a flex. Wide receiver, Waddle, Judy, DJ, Hunt, and JK. So a flex, 2 flex, and a wide receiver.
Is DJ Moore, we think?
I assume. Or Jazzy Jeff.
I hope it's not Deontay Johnson. If it's DJ Moore, I would go Hunt and DJ Moore.
Hunt and DJ Moore, and then needed 2 flex. So there's 1 more.
Okay, I see.
So Hunt is in, DJ Moore is in, so then it's Waddle or Dobbins.
I'm going Dobbins over
it ain't Judy.
Yeah.
Heck with that guy. All right, let's go to franchise again. 3 out of this group: Dowdle, Madison, Tillman, and Coleman.
Sorry, Joe, but Coleman's the odd man out for me.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I can live in disappointment.
He's boom or bust. I mean, he could absolutely boom, but I just worry that the target count could be like 3.
Complete Sports. Any chance I could start Downs over Neighbors or AJ Brown? No. Stop it. No. Why would you want to start anybody over AJ Brown today?
People are really high on Downs. Like I've seen some smart rankers.
I'm high on Downs, but you got to be high to start Downs over AJ Brown.
I agree.
Period. Also, Titans or Saints defense?
Saints defense. There I'm going Saints. Yeah.
He loves the show. We love you too. So don't get, just come on. I can't believe somebody got paid to get broed today. All right. We are going to hand off this ball here to the Welsh and Tom. So don't go anywhere. More questions, more fantasy, more week 9 coming at you right after this quick transition.
Yeah, we're all passionate about fantasy football, obviously, but sometimes there is a little bit missing. What's missing? A team. But not your fantasy team. No, a team of like-minded, passionate fantasy football fans. And if that is not part of your everyday, FantasyPros Discord might be your answer. Chat with other fans, debate strategies, and find leagues to join. Every week, get your questions answered live in our AMA live Discord sessions. Want to know if you should start that sleeper or avoid a risky trade? Our experts, they're here to help. And if you got a question, you might even end up on a podcast. It's not just about advice, though. It's about community, with channels for every aspect of fantasy football, draft advice, waivers, props to dynasty, best ball, and a ton more. You're going to find like-minded fans just like you. So join the best fantasy team. Join FantasyPros on Discord at fantasypros.com/chat today. Get your questions answered and connect with fans. Don't just play fantasy football, live it with FantasyPros on Discord. What is up, friends? And welcome back to hour 2 right here on the week 9 live stream. I'm Chris Welsh. That is Tom Strachan. I've been here in forever. We had a bunch of the UK games. Tom, I know you've been here. We weren't together last week, but we are back. What's up, buddy? Look at us. We're like a Super Bowl rewind.
Ooh,
Niners and
yes,
Ravens.
let's go. I mean, the best Super Bowl, of course, from my point of view. But no, it's all good, man. Nice to get back into a regular one. I know, obviously, next week we've got the Germany game, but it's just good to be back at 4 p.m. my time. What, like 11 a.m. your time?
Well, let me tell everybody, if you don't remember, well, happy time change to you all. Fun fact, most of the U.S. is, flipping back their clocks. I think that is, or forward. I don't know, because I live in Arizona, where we are one of 2 states in the U.S. that do not play this game. We actually just change our time zone. So the time is still the same for me, but now everything is later. So everybody else has changed times. We're just sticking. Arizona and Hawaii, for you trivia fans out there, they're the ones that we do not acknowledge time change. Hello, friends. It's good to be back. Load up your questions. We've got the new feature, as you guys know. We got the super chats. Guaranteed first 10 minutes of the super chats we will get to. We want to get to all of them. Be a little bit quicker than normal. We got a load from the last hour, so we're going to be plowing through them. But put your super chats in. We'd love to talk to you. Love to answer all of your week 9 questions, because Tom, we got a bunch. We got crunch time. Yeah. Are we ready? Let's fire it up. Let's fire this bad boy up and get going. Little stretch. All right, let's get to it. Nicholas in the house. Nicholas. Good morning, guys. Full PPR. Need to start 2. Tillman, Dowdle, DJ Moore. So we are actually sitting 1, Tom.
Yeah, I think I'm probably going to sit Dowdle there. I'm not overly high on Tillman this week, but I think I still lean towards him.
I am going. Ooh, you said you're going to sit Dowdle?
Yeah. I just think the Falcons have given up the 6th fewest fantasy points to running backs. I think that game's going to flow through CD Lamb a bit more.
He said full PPR. I'm going to sit Tillman. That might not be popular. I know it's very popular to love Tillman around these parts, but Eli Moore, whole bunch of more targets. We know they like to go to Judy. Also, Dowdle will be involved in the pass game a little bit more without Elliott, so that makes me feel going. So I'm actually going to sit Tillman there. So disagree off the top, but that's okay, right?
Hey, it's good. It's very close for me. I mean, they're about 4 spots apart in my flex rankings.
That's right. We've got Hollywood, half PPR, Chase Brown or Tyrone Tracy. These are the flavor du jour for week 9. Who do you got?
That one's Chase Brown for me. Really like that matchup against the Raiders.
Let me look at let me do the Pat thing. Let me consult my ranks where I have it. I have Tyrone Tracy just a couple spots ahead. Chase Brown is a pretty good matchup, but boy, from a who's the better back, I think Tracy is the better back, but there is maybe a little bit of competition. I'm going to go with Tracy slightly, but I know Chase Brown, I believe, is 15 in the moved up to 14 in the consensus rank. So the ECR and Tom favors Tom here.
Yeah, that's exactly where I've got him as well.
Yeah. Oh, baby. That one surprises me. I mean, I like Chase Brown and everything, but I wasn't expecting him to be 14. He's almost pushing as a top 12 back this week. It's crazy. Yeah. Avery, Ferguson, or Njoku, full PPR.
Man, Jake Ferguson just isn't getting the touchdowns like he was last year. This one's Njoku. Njoku's top 5 tight end for me this week.
Yeah, I actually want to say Ferguson, but the volume of what the Browns are doing, I'm going to go with Njoku. Unless he's banged up, I think he's kind of a must start here. Cali Boy Swag, Achan, Walker with a 3, by the way. Chuba, Tracy, Cook. We got to choose 3. Okay, so here's a better way. We're going to knock out 2 of these running backs, which it's got to be Chuba and Tracy, right?
Yeah, I think so. Chuba's got a really good. I mean, the Saints are a massive run funnel now, so Chuba's probably the one I'm slightly choosing on, but it's still James Cook's in there ahead of Chuba.
By the way, Tom, we're going to give a little plug to me. Did you know? And let's take a guess where I'm going to be this week. Last week, 5th place ranker this guy was in all of the land. Top 5 rank. No big deal, everybody. But here's the over-under. Do I crack the top 100 this week?
I mean, that's always the worry. We're always doing our best for our rankings, but anytime you fall outside the top 100, it's you got to get back to got to get in the gym and crush crush it again, ready for next.
Shout out to Mick Chialella, who also in week 8 was number 1. My boy Scott Bogman, number 2. I was 5. We had Pat and Erickson in the top 20. You guys all heard me gloating about it in the rank show. I think I literally said all I want is 1 week where I do that. Bam, top 5. So let's see if we can do it again. Reminder again, super chats. Put in your super chats, 10 minutes. We're getting them. We're plowing through them. Guaranteed for everybody that's out there. No, not everybody can do them, but you want a guaranteed question answered. Super chats. And probably for the next, 4 or 5 minutes are the actual guarantees that we will get to them because you guys are not holding back. All right, let's go to Henry. Downs over Marvin Harrison Jr. in half PPR.
Yeah, Downs for me is like almost into the top 12 this week, whereas Marvin Harrison Jr.
Really?
Against the Bears pass defense so good. I've got a lot of respect for that pass defense, so it's Downs for me.
You got him almost in the top 12?
Yeah, he's wide receiver 13 for me.
I have them right next to each other. I've got Downs at 18 and I've got Harrison at 19, but it is by a couple spots in favor of Downs here. So Josh Downs over Marvin Harrison is kind of a consensus across the board. Monty or Hunt?
I think that one I'm probably just going to lean slightly towards Kareem Hunt. Monty's just been losing touches to Jahmyr Gibbs lately, and I think that could continue and just take a little bit off him.
Only thing with Montgomery, huge touchdown equity, and it's a pretty bad stormy game. I think that there's expected to be some rain, so maybe you keep it on the ground just a tiny bit more. Hunt does get crazy volume, though.
Yeah.
I guess I would slightly lean Hunt because there's no share, but I just, in answering the question, I don't want people to sleep on Montgomery too much because we might keep it on the ground a little bit more this week. All right. Manninger 30, Rashad White or Keenan Allen or Dobbins. So there's 2 ors in there that threw me off. So 2 spots to fill. We're knocking one of these guys off. We're knocking Rashad or Keenan off, right?
It's Keenan for me. I mean, I just don't, you look at what Keenan Allen's done. He's been below 41 receiving yards pretty much every week this year. The 2 touchdowns in London kind of saved him, but yeah, I'm out on Keenan for the time being, which hurts me greatly.
Yeah, you want him to be good, but they're completely inconsistent. Caleb is inconsistent with getting the targets in. Like you would think Odunze would be bigger, but like DJ Moore was kind of shut out, last week. So I don't trust Bears wide receiver. I barely kind of trust DJ Moore right now, for being honest. So yeah, I'm not starting Keenan Allen here. Resident Link, Downs or Montgomery? Probably easy Downs if this is full PPR, not even a question. Even half, I think it still is.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
Okay, good question, Resident. Alex, Cedric Tillman or Dobbs, 10-man PPR, 4-point passing touchdown for whatever that means for the wideouts.
I quite like Dobbs to have some sneaky value this week, but he's 3 spots behind Tillman in my rankings. So yeah, just slightly lean towards Tillman, but I could very much toss a coin and land on Dobbs there.
Yeah, if Love wasn't active, this wouldn't even be remotely close of a question. I will. Man, this is a really tough one. I want to be more excited about Tillman. I want to be like a lot more excited about Tillman because he does look good, but it's like 3 mediocre-ish wide receivers on a Browns team with 3 decent wide receivers. I'm going to go with Dobbs, actually, just because Love does like to get some of those early targets to Dobbs. If I'm going for ceiling, Tillman. If I need a like bigger play, I'm chasing points or something like that, it's Tillman. If I'm playing it safe, I'm going to go Dobbs.
Nice.
Maybe that would be weird. All right, Anthony L. Otten, Dowdle, or Brian Thomas Jr. in the flex for half PPR?
I mean, if Brian Thomas Jr. is going, it's got to be Brian Thomas Jr. for me, and then it'd be Dowdle, and then Otten. I just don't like playing tight ends in the flex spot as much as Cade Otton's got a really good matchup.
Especially when you have good options. Like why you start a tight end in flex is because you're like, hey guys, Parker Washington, or blah, 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 or Otten. Then you do that. Not when you have like the only leading running back for Dallas or Brian Thomas, who's been a monster. So yeah, I would go Brian Thomas pretty easy here too. Javi, what's up, Javi? Caleb or Kyler?
Man, Kyler's given me so many ranking problems this year. Every time I've ranked him in the top 12, he's kind of failed. But yeah, I'm going Kyler's my QB8, Caleb's my QB13 this week.
I don't trust Caleb right now. He's in a kind of circle of like, he's got to prove it to me, and you hate to miss opportunities. Not that I like Kyler that much, but I would go with Kyler because, Caleb can have these like great big games and then he can disappear for 80 yards. Like, we know that Kyler's going to run a bunch. They've got to throw the ball. I'll go with Kyler. Not that I feel awesome about it. Brian Thomas or JSN?
That one's JSN for me. But I mean, if Brian Thomas is confirmed in, I'd probably bump him slightly in my rankings, but I think it's still JSN against the Rams. The Rams defense just pretty poor all around.
Let's take a look at the ranks here. JSN is 29 this week, and Brian Thomas is 26. If you're looking at the consensus ranks, which you can find over on FantasyPros at fantasypros.com/rankings all the way up until the kickoff there. I would go Brian Thomas if he is active, clearly. I like JSN. But I don't know. Like, I think it's really difficult slot coverage for the Rams. I think the Rams are like, really holding down slot coverage wide receivers. And obviously JSN might, kind of play out of that because there's no DK. I say all of that to say that, like, Philly's secondary, and if Brian Thomas is there, like, they're going to sling the ball. So I like Brian Thomas just a lot more in general. But JSN is no slouch. It might be a tougher coverage unless they move JSN out of the slot, which they could. There's no DK. A little bit more analysis there. B510, no PPR, Psychopath League, Olave or Ridley?
I mean, it's Olave for me. Ridley, what he did last week with the 10 for 143 was really impressive, but New England just take the air out of games. Olave going against the Panthers, I think you've got to lean with him. And then the next one for me, I'm a bit of a Taysom Hill fan and not much of an Evan Ingram fan. This one, it's pretty close, though. I've got Evan Ingram, tight end 8, and then Taysom at tight end 10.
Give me Olave and give me Ingram. So, boom, there you go. Pretty easy. Even though it's no PPR, Taysom is your upside play. I don't think there's any scenario where Ridley makes sense over Olave, but Taysom is your shooting for the moon type of play. Ingram, though, is just a volume play. Before we get to the next one, ladies and gentlemen, just to let you know, Super Chats are not guaranteed anymore. Not saying we will not get to them. Oh, we will try. And we will try our best. We will get into lightning rounds. Our goal is to get through this massive collection of you amazing people. But there's just technically no guarantee. So just want you guys to know we don't want any sad people, no sad faces. If you do a super chat moving forward, there's no guarantee. But hey, guess what? Maybe we get through them all. We got 15 minutes left. We'll let you guys know and you can plow a couple in. But just want you to know, thank you guys with all of your questions. Let's go to Coach Sully, who had nothing. He just wanted to say what's up. So, and thanks, Coach. Well, you know what? Here, this is what we'll do. Coach just bought a question for somebody else. Let's do Crystal. Thank you, Coach. Crystal, thank Coach. Full PPR flex, Swift, Reed, or Flowers? Full PPR.
I think I'm probably just slightly going to Swift, then Flowers. I'm quite low on Jordan Reed. Jane Reed this week, so he's definitely the third of the trio.
I'll go Swift because of just how consistent it is. It's almost an RB1, and there's volume in that, and he catches out of the backfield. These are all great options. This is clearly like a 10-man league. So I will go with Swift, but it is super, super close. And again, thank you to Coach that did that. And Will, Stafford or Kyler?
That one's going to be Kyler for me, but I definitely understand why people would want to play Stafford coming off his best game of the year. But Kyler Murray QB8, Stafford QB11 for me.
I am going to go with Stafford here. I love that Puka is going to get out there, get me Cup. I'm going to go with Stafford slightly because I just don't love Kyler, but I don't really blame anybody. Flowers, Tillman, Dowdle, sit 1.
It's probably going to be Tillman for me. I mean, the Chargers just don't give up huge amounts of fantasy points.
Yeah, I got to do the same thing. Got to sit Tillman there. No designation. I'm going to like always assume it's half PPR if you don't give a designation. I don't really think anything would change anywhere. No. So, all right. Dan G. Flex, full PPR, 12 team. Andrews or Lockett?
I think with DK out, you've probably got to lean towards Lockett. I mean, much as I think Andrews 4 touchdowns, 3 games is impressive. If that disappears, he's not getting enough volume to make it worthwhile.
100%. All right, let's get to we got some bigger super chats in here. Cole, need wide receiver 1 and 2 and flex. And flex options. So wait a minute. Do you need all 3? Reed, Amon-Ra, Tillman, Sutton, Dowdle, Cooper. So I'm going to assume this is 3 that's needed. It's just how it's phrased is tripping me out. All right, so Reed, Amon-Ra is 100% number one. We don't even need to do that. So what are you doing for wide receiver 2 and flex?
Well, I think I'd probably end up looking at Dowdle for the flex spot. I mean, it kind of comes down to Amari Cooper for me. I know he's been a bit questionable this week, but like his route share's grown over the last couple of weeks, and I like
over Jaden Reed.
Yeah, I'm not high on. Like, there's some really funky splits with Jordan Love when he's facing man coverage. The weather there looks pretty bad, and the Dolphins have been really poor at defending deep passes. And I think when you talk about deep passes with the Bills, you're talking Amari Cooper and Keon Coleman. And I've just got to believe it's kind of Amari Cooper's week to get going.
That's interesting. So here's going to be my counter to that with Jaden Reed. One thing they love to do with Jaden Reed is screen pass it out. I say this a lot. It is the Green Bay Debo Samuel. So what are they going to do? End around to get your wide receiver in. So you've got rush opportunities. You've got the low screen pass play for Jaden Reed. I'm going to go Amon-Ra, Reed, and Dowdle here. So you got Cooper. You said Dowdle, right, is like the flex?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So you say Cooper, I say Jaden Reed in there because weather is not great, but, you know, opportunities for him, like his game does amount to something that they can, you know, do trick plays and play around with and stuff. All right, let's see. Joe. What's up, Joe? Chiefs or stream of defense?
I mean, the Chiefs are a completely fine defense to play against the Bucks. I think they're second in the consensus rankings, so I'd have no problem with them.
Yeah, I mean, they don't have receivers. They might have to play like, like close inside the 10 type of ball. It's Rachaad White, it's Otton and stuff like that. I don't know what your defenses are. Like, yeah, maybe you could stream like what is it, like a Cleveland? I think I'm streaming Cleveland in one matchup this week.
Yeah, I mean,
if it's Chargers,
if you could find someone like the Saints or maybe the Eagles, then maybe I'd go with them. But I'd be completely fine just using the Chiefs.
Yeah. All right. Let's go to Sergio. Sergio, come up there. What's up, dude? Half PPR flex. Choose 2: Chuba, Tracy, Flowers, Tracy again, and Tillman. So probably just one Tracy.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to get Chuba into this one. Like, in half PPR, I'd be fine going Chuba and Tracy, and then it would be Flowers after them, and then Tillman for me is how I'd rank them. But yeah, I'd be fine with Chuba and Tracy.
Well said. I completely agree. Colin Johnson, the former receiver, full PPR with the Bears, right? Full PPR, Zay Flowers or Tyrone Tracy at flex.
I'm going Zay Flowers there. I know you're probably a bit higher than me on Tyrone Tracy, but I think Flowers is going to avoid Patrick Surtain and be an okay play.
I'm going to go with Tracy on that one. Bowers or Otton? It's got to be Bowers, right?
Oh, yeah. Easy Bowers. I mean, the guy's on pace to break Puka Nakua's rookie receptions record.
Yep. Okay, so Bowers. And this is, I really need a W this week. My opponent had Garrett Wilson. Ooh. Been a big buyer on Garrett Wilson. Just want to say, everyone was like, oh, a big buyer on Garrett Wilson. But yeah, that is a bummer to be playing him. All right. Before we go to any more questions, giveaways, my friends. We love giveaways. And that is why we have teamed up with our friends over at Trophy Smack to give away something truly epic this week. A large fantasy football wall smack of your choosing. These magnetic metal wall plaques, they're not just wall art. They're statement pieces that let everyone know how passionate you are about fantasy football, whether you go with the sleek floating style or the bold poster style. Wall Smack is the perfect addition to your fan cave. To enter, all you've got to do is subscribe to the Fantasy Pros channel right now, which you may have done. If you haven't, do it. Drop a comment below, which you're all doing on any of our videos, by the way. And that's it. We'll be announcing a winner right here on the channel, so make sure to turn on notifications so you can know when new videos are up and you can claim this awesome Trophy Smack Wall Smack prize. All right, let's get back to questions here. We had Colin. I'm going through some of the bigger dogs here. Oh, we had, look, Victor. Victor, this is my Victor bought a question because there's nothing in there. So, Victor, let's go to someone at the top here. BTJ or Downs? He bought Eddie.
I mean, I'm going to Josh Downs here. I think I've gotten comfortably ahead of Brian Thomas Jr. But I would say, like, if you've ended up just sending one of these super chats without getting your question in, just hit us up on Twitter and we'll make sure to answer 100%. Your question because that's painful.
100%. Yeah, where's the question with? But like, if Brian Thomas had nothing, like no injury tag, would it still be just so definitively Downs to you?
Yeah, because I think like when you look at what Downs has got in that game, obviously Joe Flacco's going to face a ton of the blitz. We know that Joe Flacco's quite good against blitz when he gets the ball out quickly in under 2 seconds. I think Debro was mentioning that this week. And it's going to be Josh Downs on those. The Vikings have given up huge amounts of fantasy points this year to wide receivers. So yeah, I just feel slightly better about that matchup all around.
It's just one of those. It feels weird for a lot of people. Like when you look at the top 15 on the wide receivers, it's like Josh Downs is sandwiched between like Puka, like right above it, and Puka and Garrett Wilson. Below is like Devontae Adams and Jaden Reed, and Josh Downs is just like hey everybody, But he does get just massive amounts of targets. That's how it works. Mr. Slappy in the house, full PPR, Amari or DJ Moore.
Oh man, like this is DJ Moore for me, but I don't feel amazing about it.
DJ Moore, 18 on the ranks with Amari Cooper down at 33. So the consensus ECR says this is nothing. DJ Moore can get shut out, but this is clearly DJ Moore in this play. Like Amari has not stepped up into that offense enough that is doing anything for me right now. Breaking news. Is this real breaking news? Is Brian Robinson out?
Yep, it confirmed out. Jordan Schultz reporting it. Just they worked him out, said he wasn't 100%, so they're going to sit him. So Austin Eckler to the moon this week.
Austin Eckler. If you have an Austin Eckler question, here's the answer. Go. Absolutely. That one's a brutal one because I'm a big Brian Robinson guy this week. Yep. I'm gonna be honest with you. I had it. Now it's just going to give me my money back. I had a prop bet going on this week. I was propping it to get over. Brian Robinson was low rushing yard total, but now this is Austin Eckler to the freaking moon. So DJ Moore and then Austin Eckler. So breaking news, Brian Robinson out for the week. Ooh, baby. All right. Thank you again, Mr. Slappy, on the big super chat. We'll get back to the top of the order, but just hitting some of these big super chats that these guys have thrown in here. This was Victor's question, I think, from earlier. Start 2 out of Shakir, Myers, and Brian Robinson, full PPR.
So I'm going Brian Thomas and Jacoby Myers there. Jacoby Myers
Thomas
is averaging like 7.5 targets per game over the last 4. And I just think Shakir, even though he's probably going to be on the field on 3 wide receiver sets, it feels like he's going to lose a bit of work.
Completely agree on that one. Jesse, flex, Mostert, Liggett, Coker, Odunze, or Ferguson?
Man, that's a tough one. I don't envy that one at all. I think I'd probably go Mostert for the touchdown equity, but yeah, I'd really struggle with that.
Give me Liggett. Liggett being like the number 1 wide receiver.
I think it's a good shout with Lattimore out.
Yeah, like Coker's kind of fun this week. I got a little prop action on him. By the way, shout out to Betting Pros. Go check out Betting Pros. I think we still have the offer, FP free. You guys want a free month offer? You want to turn all your fantasy knowledge into some betting stuff, some betting fun? You can go and do that, FP free, for a free month of premium. Yeah, there you go. I didn't even know we had this on here. But free trial. You can use the leading industry tools, the betting tools that we've got over there, the prop cheat sheet. You can follow Erickson, myself, Pisapia, and everybody bets. Awesome new feeds, and you can do all the analysis with all the ratings, the coverage sides, 57.5% coverage you can see on the Breece Hall side. Go and check it out. Download Betting Pros for all of you and use that promo code FP free for a full month of unlocked greatness with Betting Pros. What an awesome time during this NFL season. And then hopefully you want to extend it. So go and do that today, my friends. But Liggett, Coker is one that you will see if you go and do that on the Betting Pros. You will see I have a bet on him, but I will go with Liggett being the top guy. All right, Jesse, thank you, Jesse. 40-piece KFC. Morning, guys. Full PPR, Tony Pollard or Chase Brown? Let's start there.
I think I'm leaning towards Chase Brown in this one. I know Tony Pollard should see a lot of volume again, but he doesn't really turn it into massive days. And I think Chase Brown in full PR probably has a little more upside in the passing game this week in that matchup. And then on the other side, I'm going Xavier Worthy. Bucks are awful against deep passes to the middle of the field, and that just feels where Xavier Worthy can exploit them. Yeah,
I think there's a little bit of a floor missing for Worthy, but I'll go with Worthy and give me Pollard. I'm big on Pollard this week. I mean, there is no Spears. I know Joey P like Chestnut mentioning that, but like Pollard's just going to get volume. He's going to get massive amounts of volume. So I like Pollard more than Chase Brown, but I will agree with you on the Worthy side. Andrew Michael, I've got a good problem. Ingram, Otten, Njoku, Tracy, Chase Brown, PPR. Pick my flex in tight end. I'm assuming that's Aaron Jones and James Cook starting at running back. Maybe start 2 tight ends. So what say you? He's got all the good non-elite tight ends plus Chase Brown and Tracy.
So I'm going David Njoku. I mean, he's top 5 for me until we see otherwise. I think just volume is absolutely going to sustain him in PPR. And then I'm probably going Chase Brown for the flex.
I'm going to go... Oh, man. I think I already said, I got Tracy once. So I'm fine with doing the Chase Brown and the Njoku thing. I think that's fine. I really don't think you can go wrong on the tight end front. Though, did he say, it is full PPR? You know what? No, I'm going to go Ingram. They got to throw Ingram 10 targets. I'm going to go Ingram, and then I'll go. I have Tracy 1 spot ahead, but you want to go Chase Brown. Maybe there is a little bit more upside there. I don't hate it, Michael. All right. Devin. We got more breaking news.
Yeah, Amari Cooper inactive today with a wrist injury. So if I told you to start Amari Cooper, scrap that, rewind, let's go again.
No Amari Cooper. Okay, so wait, hold on. What was that one question we had with Khalil Shakir?
So yeah, I think you can definitely bump Khalil Shakir now. That makes him much easier start.
And I see I have my screen a little bit moved. So Tom, for everybody, he's got this our private chat. And it just goes Cooper out, pain. And I just missed it. I didn't see it before. Brian Robinson, Amari Cooper officially out. Keep hanging with us for the next 30 minutes for any more. We'll keep giving you these guys updates, and this may start changing. I do think this kind of changes the Khalil Shakir. I'm trying to remember what the question was. It was 2 other wideouts, and Shakir. Oh, man, I don't know. Shakir might bump up over one of those guys and whatever that question was. So sorry for whoever that was. What's up? Downs or Tracy in the flex from Devin?
That's Downs for me.
Yeah, I think we've hit that one. The boss in the flex, start Chuba or Keon Coleman. Shakir is the 3rd wide receiver, and he just got gifted. No Amari Cooper. So the boss is killing it here. But Chuba or Coleman?
I'm going Chuba just to think in volume and the fact the Saints were awful against the run.
Would you go Coleman over Shakir, though?
Yeah, I'd go Coleman over Shakir, just for what I was talking about, on the matchup stuff and the Dolphins being pretty good near the line of scrimmage, but awful the further downfield you get.
And that is literally where Coleman plays, and he has been such a monster in the red zone. Yep. So Coleman, so get your Shakir out, put Coleman in, and go Chuba. Perfect timing, the boss. Mr. Slappy, another one, full PPR, Amari or DJ Moore?
Definitely not Amari anymore.
Oh, yeah,
DJ
Amari,
Moore.
yeah, duh. Yeah, we got that one. Wesley, full PPR, start 2. Liggett, Coleman, Brian Thomas. I think it's as easy. This is now Coleman and Brian Thomas.
Agreed, yep, 100%.
Okay, easy. Sorry to just plow through your great question there. Ken says 12-team PPR, need 1 wideout, 1 flex. We've got Marvin, Cooper's out, McConkey, Tillman, Stevenson, Dowdle. So let's start 2 here. I will say Harrison and McConkey for me.
Yeah, I think it kind of becomes a little questionable about whether I'd want to start Ramondre, but I think I'm still just slightly McConkey over Ramondre.
Do you like Harrison dramatically over McConkey?
Yeah, as much as that game could be a bit of a difficult one, I think, Marvin Harrison has to kind of kick on at some point, surely.
Okay, I'm going to do a couple more of the big dogs, and then we are going to get back to the top of answering these. We got Hussein says, start 2, full PPR, Hopkins, Flowers, JSN, Hubbard, Tracy, and now Eckler. So this is a brand new one here. Oh, my God. Okay, you know what? Real quick. With this move, we had Brian Robinson in the full consensus ranks because this is important, and I want to get to all the questions, but Brian Robinson was 24th, and I think there's a little bit of hedging for the questions. Eckler, not really existent. I mean, I'm scanning down the ranks. I gotta be honest with you, I'm not even seeing him here. Where do you think Eckler belongs in the rankings now?
So I had him as my RB 34, and I had Brian Robinson at RB 22, and I'm probably going to move Eckler up to RB 25, just kind of ahead of Ramondre and ahead of Alexander Mattison, ahead of Nick Chubb. I think Eckler's been excellent in the passing game this year. He just hasn't seen enough volume. He's not been incredible in the running game, but I think he's been good enough that in this matchup against the Giants who average 4.9 yards per carry or something allowed every rush, I think he's fine.
Let me ask you this. Eckler or J.K. Dobbins this week?
It's going to be Eckler.
It is Eckler for me too. And the reason I'm saying this, our ranks could differ a little bit, but on ECR, Eckler was 35, Dobbins was 21. So I think Eckler is going to push that RB2 territory. So getting back to this question, you got some really great options. Full PPR makes it tough, but like, how do you sit Eckler? And I don't really see how you sit Chuba, except you got a bunch of other PPR guys. I'm going to go Chuba and Eckler on this one.
Yeah, I'm going to go Chuba and Eckler with you. I think, I really like all three of those wide receivers this week, but I'm just going with the volume on the two running backs.
It's a big one. And here you go. Here's the biggest super chat of the day. 2,000 GT with the big super chat. Hat tip to him. Olave, Tillman, Keenan, I suppose, Dobbs, and D-Hop.
So, I mean, Olave feels like a lock there. Would you say that one is...
Not even a question. Olave is a lot. He's essentially a wide receiver 1 in a early wide receiver 2 body this week.
Yeah, and then the next one for me, it's going to be DeAndre Hopkins ahead of Tillman, Allen, and Dobbs. It does start to get close for those guys, but yeah, I think I'd lean there. Where are you?
Oh, man, I'm not comfortable. I'm actually dicey on all of these guys. I guess, like, Hopkins being a weekend, you loved seeing him get involved, like, in the first plays last week. I think that does bode relatively well. I got to tell you, though, I think the floor is lava on all these guys, and it can fall out from under. But Hopkins is probably the best bet. It's only just going to be brutal, Tom, because like he's going to watch all these other guys. If one of them dominates, then you're going to just like wait until Monday, and you're going to be like, oh, crap. But yeah, I would go with D-Hop with you as well.
Yeah, the Bucks will have 6th most fantasy points to wide receivers, and I think that's just a better matchup all around.
Yeah. Shout out to 2000 for that big old super chat in support of obviously Fantasy Pros and us getting your question. All right, we are getting back up here at the top, but let's talk about Knockout. Joe told you about it a little bit earlier in the show. Knockout, brand new fantasy game. Knockout takes luck, injuries, and bad drafts out of the equation. You get to set a new lineup every week, so no more busted drafts. No more season-killing injuries. Pick a new team every week, but you can only use each player one time. That's actually amazing. The lowest score is eliminated every week. Winner takes all. So unlike traditional fantasy leagues, you don't have to be the best. Just don't be the worst. Pick your strategy and do your best to survive. The link to sign up for Knockout is in the description. So go and check it out today. Sign up. Knockout, an awesome, fun new way to play fantasy because, hey, maybe you were knocked out of your current fantasy leagues. Get in, start having fun. Knockout, sign up today in the description below. Knockout Fantasy Sports. Let's do it. All right, getting back to all the questions. We got Josh Hart, full PPR, flex, Javonte, Worthy, or Rashad? Full PPR.
Let me just check where I got Rashad White. That's probably the only question for me. I'm not really tempted to go with Javonte. Nick Chubb's the only running back who's gone over 50 yards against the Ravens. So
this is Rashad for me, by the way.
Yeah, Rashad by about 8 spots in my flex ranking.
Oh, okay. That's pretty big. 29 is Rashad. So he is like a flex play. And I think Worthy is in like the flex play range. So I would go with Rashad there, Josh. Diego, full PPR, flex or Laporta?
Oh, man. I mean, how much are you loving Tyrone Tracy? Because this is where it starts to get close. I do think that Sam Laporta, like last week, like 33% target share, and he's definitely in play for me. But I'll let you go with this one because you feel strongly on Tyrone Tracy.
I don't know if I guess I don't know if I feel strongly. He has just become like, the predominant guy. It's a pretty good rating. Fantasy Pros, we do matchup ratings, which you can check on the ranks. It's pretty cool. Just even the rank page alone, by the way, it'll have like start and sit grades, projected fantasy points, how they perform versus that. And they have matchup ratings. 5-star rating for Tyrone Tracy. He's one of, I think it's like 6 running backs in the top 24 to have a 4 or higher rating, matchup rating. So 4-star or higher matchup rating. So it's just a good matchup. He's been super explosive. Laporta's fun, but this is back to like, is a top 2 back worth putting a tight end in flex when we talked about that earlier? Like, I know Laporta's fun, but he's super inconsistent. I think this is like a pretty easy Tracy for where he's been put. But I know like I think Singletary is active this week. So maybe that makes people feel a little dicey, but I'm going to go Tracy.
I'm good with that. You've sold me.
All right. Beautiful. Luke, start 2. Waddle, Ladd, Jacoby Myers.
Man, I think I'm sitting Waddle.
I'm sitting Myers. I am. If anyone listens during the week with me and Erickson, me and Erickson are just absolute Dolphins stands. We cannot shut up about it. They got to break out soon. Tua in week 2 back, I think gets Waddle re-involved. He had a brutal drop like deep last week. I go Waddle and Ladd here, but I know Myers is a little bit safer, right?
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Not that this is like super surprising, but in the inactive world, T. Higgins is officially inactive. So I know that. And wasn't there a question about Burton a little bit earlier as well, Tom?
Yeah, so Jermaine Burton's been confirmed as a healthy scratch. Apparently the team are going to talk about why he was a healthy scratch later. So I don't know what that's meaning, but it could be. Doesn't sound very good for him at all.
Sounds like maybe a late night Halloween or some bad trick or treats or something like that. By the way, did the bowl trick-or-treating, because we took our kids out. My daughter wrote a beautiful note. Hey, please take 2. We said, not 1. The first people took the entire bowl. The scum. Come on. Have respect for a child's letter. They took the whole. Tom, we hadn't left to go trick-or-treating yet. We put it out. We walked out of our house to go trick-or-treating, and the bowl was gone. Crazy.
That's not nice. Where I am, I live on a quiet street. We're not as big on trick-or-treating over here, but we went over to some friends where it's a bit of a bigger sort of street where it is. We came back and the entire bowl was still full.
Our neighbors completely
this
full.
Guy quids in.
No, we had peanut butter cups, so I don't know. All right, sorry. James Jones. This is going to be Keon Coleman's pretty easy answer because Cooper is out. So you got the easy one. Occupus? Full PPR, Sutton or Brian Thomas? Brian Thomas.
That's Brian Thomas, yeah.
Yeah, very easy one. Not to blast by your question, but it's very easy. Should I start Laporta in the rain or TJ Hawkinson?
I mean, I'm still going Laporta there. Laporta in the rain.
Sam Laporta in the rain. Yeah, I would too. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say, I got Laporta tight end 8 and Hawkinson tight end 14.
30 minutes into these streams, I start to get I'm like waking up. I'm a little bit goofy, but it's afternoon for you. Beast, start 2. Laporta again, Kraft or Christian Watson?
So I've got Kraft quite low this week, but I mean, Christian Watson's such a dice roll every week. I think if the weather is going to affect things, then I'd rather take the near line of scrimmage receptions from Laporta and Kraft.
This will be the first instance where give me a tight end in the flex. I will do the 2 tight end. I got no interest in Christian Watson. And if you don't have interest in Jaden Reed, Tom, no way Christian Watson is even in your top 60 right now.
Let me check in my wide receivers.
I'm going to guess 65 in your ranks. I haven't looked at your ranks. Hands up.
He's 67.
Oh, I'm so good. I just know you. I was so close. So close. I knew exactly. But he deserves to be there. There's nothing different about it. All right. Herpo Yang, start 3, half PPR, Downs, Tracy, Rashad White, Tillman. So that could be phrased as sit 1.
Sitting Tillman. I know he did great last week, and I know Jameis is fun, but I just don't think the matchup is there this week.
Yep, also sitting Tillman as well. Might regret it. Peter, quarterback question, Jaden or Kirk?
It's got to be Jaden Daniels.
Jaden Daniels, absolutely. You have a great Sunday, Peter. You absolutely do that. Avram, Vikings, Titans, Patriots, defense.
Man, okay, so you've got the Titans and Patriots both playing each other, so questionable quarterback playing that one. The Vikings against Joe Flacco.
I like the Titans here.
Yeah, I like the Titans here. Sneaky good defense, really good coaching there, and I'd probably just lean to them.
Remember the Titans, my friends. TJ, start 2. Achane, Monty, Stevenson, or Tracy. This is an Achane and Monty for me.
Yeah, I'd be right there with you. I think Achane's going to have a monster week.
I think Achane is he's the outlier here. He's the good outlier. The other 3 maybe closer. Stevenson's the lowest rank for me. You seem to kind of like Stevenson a little bit this week.
Yeah, I mean, I do. I think that he's going to see decent volume. I think that the matchup for New England, it's not horrendous. Like you go back last year and it was much harder to run on Tennessee than it was to pass on them, and that's kind of flipped this year. They're easier to run against, but yeah, I definitely wouldn't be starting him feeling great, but I'd be fine starting him if I needed to.
Hollywood, Pats or Bears defense? Bears have the Cardinals, Pats have the Titans.
I mean, I'm just going with a better defense, which I think is the Bears all rounder.
Yeah, I would agree with that one. And better offense going against, though. So,
yeah,
I'll go with the Bears. I'll go with the Bears, too.
I think, like, you look at the Cardinals, like, they're a little patchy. So, I don't know. Yeah, I'll go with Bears.
Yeah, it's kind of it's a little bit of a tough one in there. All right, yeah. Eddie, is it worth reading McBride for Tracy? Is it worth starting McBride for Tracy? Oh, trading, I think is trading McBride for Tracy and Downs.
I wouldn't, because I think McBride gives you a bigger positional advantage. Yes, he's not getting the touchdowns. Like, I spent far too much of the offseason saying he was going to get positive touchdown regression, and he's not yet. But I still think, bigger advantage at the tight end position.
I feel very accomplished when we can decipher. Like, this isn't Eddie's fault. Like, this was probably, maybe he's a big reader, really smart guy, and it just autocorrected. But like, when we can decipher code, I feel like, I feel like I should be on like a Netflix series, like just deciphering like Zodiac. I'm like, this is great. Like, I have extra skills. So you guys actually make me feel really good. Main Mac, need a flex, full PPR, Waddle or Coker? This is Waddle.
Yeah, it's going to be Waddle. I'm excited about Coker, but definitely not over Waddle.
Yeah. All right. Let's do a little bit of scanning on a few here, and we'll get back to the tippy tops as well. Jason, Stafford or Darnold? Opponent has Nakua and Cup playing. That's not really going to be thrown into my decision making, but maybe it's interesting. Like, he could start the quarterback that has both of those wideouts. What do you think about that?
Yeah, but I mean, the thing that you're worried about is Cooper Kupp and Puka Nakua both hitting like 20 points, isn't it? So it's like, if they go for that, it's not really going to make a difference whether you got 23 points from Matthew Stafford or whether you got 20 from Sam Darnold. I think I'm probably Sam Darnold there. He's my QB7. Matthew Stafford's my QB11.
Yeah. I'm also I just throw out, I know the logic, but like Kyron Williams is also like a touchdown hog. So I love Darnold this week. So I'm going to go with Darnold against the Colts, but I totally understand the logic there, Jason. This one was from Eddie. McBride or Tracy? Oh, this is the same. Wasn't the same question, Eddie?
Yeah.
I already get it. But he saw the reading and he changed it. Dwight, half PPR, Chubb, Dowdle, Tillman, Worthy. Sit one.
It's going to be Tillman. I'm sitting Tillman too easily in a lot of these questions, but I just like the other options more.
You know exactly where this is heading by starting to sit.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I actually think Tillman and Worthy are pretty close. Worthy is, I think, the bigger upside play. If you wanted maybe a floor, Tillman actually might be a better option. Just throwing that out there. Cole, half PPR, wide receiver 1-2 flex. So we got to start 3, I guess. Amon-Ra, Downs, Reed, Tillman, Sutton, Dowdle, Cooper. So this is Amon-Ra, Downs, and I'm doing Reed. Are you? You're going Dowdle.
I mean, Amon-Ra and Downs definite, and then it's kind of close between Dowdle and Reed. I'd just lean towards Dowdle there.
Okay. Let's see. Julie, help DJ Moore, Tillman, or play both in instead of Hubbard in the flex. Now you got to play Hubbard. We're gonna do it again though, Tom, aren't we? We're gonna sit Tillman.
We're sitting Tillman.
Oh boy. You know what I'm gonna do?
I'm gonna go bet his receiving line.
Literally what I'm doing with my phone. Go to Betting Pros and you go find, and here's another great thing. Go to Betting Pros and look for the best odds. And it'll tell you, just click on him. It'll show you all the books, get the best odds, and play his over receiving yard total. We are 100% setting that up without question.
So his receiving line is set at 48.5 a minute. I feel like he can cover that without showing me up for the day.
And receptions are probably like 3.5, maybe.
Yeah, I don't have that in a minute, but yeah.
All right, I'm playing one of them. I have to. It's just science, how you do it. All right, PPR RB2, Connor, it's not B-Rob anymore, or Tracy. So it's Connor or Tracy now.
I'm going James Conner there. I mean, the way to get the Bears is through the ground game. I think that, they're a massive run funnel.
Yeah. I'd also say you said Connor, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I would go with Connor in this. It's close, but here would be another piece of advice. My playbook. Go and check out my playbook, my friends, because my playbook can help you with the tough decisions. It's like having FantasyPros analysts with you at all times. You can, if you're confused who to start, worried you're going to make the wrong choice, you can let us do the work for you and take the stress out of lineup management with Autopilot. Autopilot makes it super easy to manage your fantasy team's lineup. Get suggested lineup changes via email. You can have us auto swap inactive players for you, like Oh my gosh, imagine if you had a busy morning and Brian Robinson and Amari Cooper are both out. Let the auto swap get those inactive players out. And you can even turn on full autopilot mode to have optimal lineups set each week. Use autopilot at fantasypros.com/myplaybook or on the Fantasy Football My Playbook app. Go and check that out today. Easy decisions and tons more great stuff on the My Playbook app to make your life easier. Go and do that. And Stephon Diggs. We're sitting Stephon Diggs because he's out for the year. All right. Let's get down some of these questions. Walter, flex, full PPR, Myers, McConkey, Mooney, or Tillman?
Ooh, let me just check where I've got Mooney, because that's one we haven't talked about so far today. Yeah, I'm going McConkey and Mooney. Also, just once, then it'd be McConkey, and then it'd be Mooney after him for me.
I think Mooney is in the top 2 wide receivers. It's a great matchup any single week. But I think the upside of like Ladd is just too hard to pass up. Dan, half PPR, Kincaid or Hawkinson?
That's Kincaid for me. I know he's been disappointing, but yeah, just guys coming back of serious injuries, just kind of got to give it one game to see.
Yeah. All right. Where was I? Thank you, Dan. James, 2 quarterback full PPR, Goff, Geno, and Flacco.
So I'm going to go Geno and Flacco. I think Goff, it's his first game outside this year. Doesn't play outside again until week 16, and just don't feel incredible about that over Flacco.
Sorry, who did you say? You said Goff?
Sorry, Geno and Flacco.
Oh, Geno. Okay, I'm sorry. I kind of think I might go Flacco in this instance. I want to start Goff, but I don't like the weather stuff.
Yeah.
RB2 and flex. So sit one of Bigsby, Harrison, or White.
I think I'm going to sit Bigsby. Travis Etienne's supposed to be back up today, and I don't think running on the Eagles is the easiest.
I kind of agree with that one. Adam, standard league, Chuba, Ridley, Jacoby. I'm guessing just start one. Chuba.
I'm going Chuba. Yeah, particularly in standard.
Yeah, classic. It's like classic when we get back to that. Let's see. Love, Stafford, Mayfield, or Lawrence. All the quarterback options from Maddenings.
So, I mean, if you're feeling iffy about Love, it's probably Stafford for me. He's the closest. I mean, he's QB 11 I've got him at. And then Mayfield, I just think against this Chiefs defense, I know Mayfield's been like a top 12 quarterback practically every week, but I think it's going to end at some point. And then Trevor Lawrence, he's been playing much better, but I'm not sure I could start him ahead of Stafford.
I have Stafford as the high one. He is also top 12 on the ECR right now. So Love, if he was like super, super healthy, maybe people feel better about it. I think Love is the best quarterback. Actually, wouldn't kill you for starting Love, but I would go Stafford. I think it's just a little bit easier. Bill Burr's in the house. Hey guys, love the content and help. I need definitely not real Bill Burr. I need an RB2 for my full PPR 12-man league. I have Mostert, Etienne, and Singletary. So RB2 out of that crew. Oof.
Man, yeah, that's a painful one. I'm going Mostert just for touchdown equity. I think, bro. Yeah, I just don't feel particularly great about where Etienne's at on the team. Singletary running behind Tracy, who we've talked about plenty.
Well, here's the reason I like Etienne. They don't like Tank Bigsby to be the third down back, and Etienne was getting a big receiving role, so I kind of think he's going to get back to that. It's like 4 or 5 catches. He's going to get some rushes. Mostert's probably a little bit safer, but I feel like Etienne's got a tiny bit, like the touchdown equity makes him also like big upside. But if he doesn't get a touchdown, I think Mostert's going to fail. In full PPR, I think Etienne's in a good spot for receptions and stuff. So Bill Burr, that is what we are going to do. Big fan of Bill Burr, by the way. I have a Bill Burr poster actually right here. You can't see Bill Burr Monday Morning Podcast live out here in Phoenix. So there you go. Jose, half PPR, pick 2 wide receivers, 1 flex. Marvin Harrison, DJ Moore, Dobbins, Nick Chubb, Ridley, Reed, and St. Brown in the rain. So you're not going to sit St. Brown under any circumstance. So that's one of the wideouts. So we need a flex and 1 more wideout.
I think I'm probably still going Marvin Harrison here. I feel pretty good about that. I suppose if you wanted to start one of the running backs, I'd go Dobbins maybe in the flex. Where you at on this?
Oh man, I think I want DJ Moore as my other wideout, and then I think I might flex Marvin Harrison. And that's a really tough one. I know. I'll just tell you, I mean, if you listen to Joe in hour 1, Joe is just the biggest Nick Chubb fan like on the planet. So it's going to be Nick Chubb for him. But I think I would go like heavy wideouts, even in the half PPR here. That's a tough one.
Yeah.
He's got too many good players. You guys with all your good players and everything like that. All
Must
right.
be nice.
Yeah, it must be really, really nice. I do not have teams that are like that. Jason, half PPR, Terry McLaurin, Reed, or Puka?
I'm going Puka. I feel, I know the injury stuff's a little bit scary, but last week he was supposed to be limited, came out and just absolutely dominated. But this one, it would be Puka, McLaurin, Reed in that order.
Yeah, just like at this point, like have we learned, like, how can we not get Puka in there? So 100%. All right, back up to the top. Lightning round time. We are going to kill the analysis and we are going to just go with names. We've kind of been doing that a little bit more. Yeah, stretch it out. Get your neck ready. Let's go. Lightning round. PPR, Tracy, BTJ. BTJ. That is right. Sorry, I'm trying to do these here. One, Jake Ferguson or Hunter Henry?
It's Jake Ferguson. Not by a lot.
Jake Ferguson as well. Pittman or Dowdle? PPR.
I'm going Dowdle.
Dowdle. I'm going to go Dowdle too, even though Pittman's a pretty good, decent play right now. B510, no PPR. Didn't we have this one? Olave, Ridley. I think we had that one. Olave, and then I'm going Ingram. So,
yep.
Alex, Tillman or Dobbs?
Let's go Tillman there.
It's fine. Did I have this exact one? Did I say Dobbs? Like, I'd be fine with Tillman. I think Dobbs might be like a tiny bit sneakier. Half point PPR, Komet or Kraft?
Komet, but I don't feel happy about it.
Kraft because Love is playing. Kyler or Stafford?
Kyler.
Stafford. Oh, you said Kyler. I say Stafford. Yeah. John Miller, Cooper or Coleman? Well, Coleman. Taysom or Kraft? I'm going to go Kraft.
I'm going to go Taysom.
You're going to go Taysom over? You hate well, how much do you hate him? Sorry, it's lightning.
I mean, Tucker Kraft's my second highest best ball exposure at tight end. Love him, but I just think that I'm quite low on the Packers in general this week, whereas I think Taysom against Carolina with Jamal Williams out, Kendrick Miller on injured reserve, Taysom Hill could see more action.
Is Kraft not top 12 tight end for you this week?
Tight end 16.
Oh, this is don't do the Juwan Jennings thing again, Tom. Tillman or Kraft? You're going to go Tillman over Kraft, clearly. All right. Eric, will Pollard play? I have Chestnut and Mostert. Yes, it looks like Pollard is going to play.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
You can feel good about that. Aiden, 14 team, half PPR, one Bigsby, Irving, Judy, Addison.
I think that's
I go
going
Bigsby
to be
here.
Yeah, I go Bigsby as well. So it's similar range for all of them, but Bigsby.
I love Irving, but he's like just a little bit banged up this week. Philly or Chargers defense?
I'm going to go with the Chargers here because Jameis, I mean, last week, he had 3 dropped interceptions. Like, yeah, it's going to happen.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Let's see. Alex, Bo Nix or Caleb this week?
I think I've got Bo Nix just ahead. As a Ravens fan, I'm just ready for the pain that he's going to bring me today.
I'm going to go Caleb on that one, but it's close. Like the second you can throw against the Ravens, but I just like, is it going to get to be able to throw? Caleb with a question. Tillman, Pittman, Deontay, Hubbard, full PPR pick 2. This is Pittman and Hubbard. Pretty easy.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
All right.
Definitely.
All right. Susmet, Chuba, Moore, Ladd, pick 2, full PPR.
I think I'm sitting Ladd just slightly over DJ Moore.
Oh, it's super close between Ladd and Chuba. I guess I would probably do the same thing. It's super close. Half PPR, Tillman or Dobbs. We've had like a version of Andrews or Kraft. We've kind of answered the Dobbs Tillman thing a bunch. Andrews or Kraft? You have Andrews over Kraft?
I mean, I'm going Andrews, but I mean, like, look,
Can we get 30 super chats all asking just Kraft versus tight end questions, please, for Tom to make him feel uncomfortable? Start 2 PPR, Bucky, Algier, Chestnut, Cook. Bucky.
Start 2, Bucky and Algier. Yep, definitely.
Yeah, that's
Can't be
like
starting Dalvin Cook.
gross land here.
A
couple of you guys didn't have questions in here. I'm so sorry, Crystal, and low quality, and we're in lightning round. And I think Sussman had theirs earlier. I feel bad. I'm sorry. AZ Axe, maybe full PPR, Puka or Pollard? Puka. Got to be Puka. Low quality, Pollard, BTJ, Marvin Harrison, Downs, start 2.
So Downs is going to be one of those to me, and then I'd probably go Pollard.
I got to start Pollard, and I'm cool with Downs as well. Tough to sit the 2 young juniors, but you got to do it. You're saying start 2, Flowers, Hopkins, Hubbard, Tracy, JSN.
So I think I'm running backs.
I think the backs too. I'm leaning on those backs this week. Myers or Downs as a wide receiver 2, half PPR.
Downs easily.
Yes, Downs for sure. You guys should know by now. BTJ over Sutton here.
Yeah, BTJ. Sutton, you're just praying for a touchdown.
Exactly. Crystal, full PPR. Oh, maybe that was from earlier. So good. Crystal, got your question in. Full PPR, Puka, McConkey, Waddle for a wide receiver and a flex. So essentially, are you sitting Waddle or Puka?
I'll sit Waddle.
Ah, man, I guess I would sit Waddle in this one. I kind of don't want to because you guys know what I said earlier, but I really like McConkey this week. He's the number one there. Tracy or it's not B-Rob, so it's going to be Tracy. So we already answered your question. There you go. Tracy or Jacobs. You hate Packers, but you got to go Jacobs.
Well, no, yeah, I think Jacobs can be fine volume here. So, yeah, I'm good with Jacobs.
All right. You happy Sunday to you, Jason. Full PPR, Tillman or Hopkins?
That's Hopkins.
Hopkins, that's right. Carey, PPR need 2. Brown, Connor, Downs, Mooney.
And I'm going Downs in James Conner. James Conner's just ahead of Chase Brown for me.
Yep, I'm in agreement, though, you like your Chase Brown. Pretty close. Marvin Harrison or JSN full PPR?
I've got him back-to-back, but it'd be just Marvin Harrison for me.
Okay. Yes, I would also go with that. Gabriel, Nick, Stafford, or Carr this week? Stafford.
That's Stafford, yeah.
Yeah, Stafford. I know Nick's was kind of close for you. Addison or Coker?
Ooh, I'm going Addison. Yeah, Addison, I think, good matchup for points, but
I might be a psychopath. I might go Coker here.
I wouldn't blame anyone for it.
Yeah, Addison can just dump out and have nothing especially with Hawkinson coming back this week. PPR flex, Mooney or Eckler? Got to be Eckler. Eckler to the moon, we said, right?
Yep.
Yeah, Eckler to the moon, man. Mahomes, Dak, Laporta, and moving forward. What? Can you decipher that? This is not a code I can decipher. This is
Mooney.
This killer is going to get away. I don't know this cipher.
Is this trade in Mahomes for Dak and Ferguson, or well, let's put it this way. I'm quite high on Mahomes this week. I think he's got a really good matchup against Paul Buck's defense. Dak and Ferguson. I like Dak, but Ferguson's not getting the touchdowns in the red zone looks that he got last year, so I'm quite low on Ferguson. And Laporta seems fine as long as Jameson Williams isn't out there.
Yeah, I speak incoherent, but that one just got me a little bit. I apologize. Nate, May with rushing upside over Mahomes. Gut says yes. Boy, hold on. He says gut says yes. So go with your gut, but absolutely not. I'm going with Mahomes.
Yeah, and it's just worth noting Drake May's pick'em this week on his rushing line is really low. I would be very much tempted to go and look for that. I think it was set at 18.5 yards. Smash him out.
Okay, let's get a cut. I'm going to say this right now. I apologize. We're not going to get through all the super chats. It's just not going to happen. We are getting close, and I think we've done a pretty good job, but it ain't going to happen. So let's go. PPR, wide receiver, flex, Mooney, Downs, Flowers. That's Downs. So easy.
Yep.
Right. All right. Pick 2, Hubbard, White, Otten, Brown, Etienne.
I'm going Hubbard, and I'm going with White.
Yeah. Who was Brown?
Oh, Chase Brown. No, I'd go Chase Brown over Rashad White.
Okay. Yeah. Same thing. Jonathan, Amari. Well, it's not Amari. Worthy. It's Worthy here.
Worthy. Yep.
There's a lot of names in there. I don't understand. Flex, wide receiver, and a flex. Dobbins, Hunt. This is Hunt and Downs.
Yep. Agreed.
Okay, good. We're on that one. Mayfield, Mahomes.
Yep.
Okay, easy stuff. Dan just sent us. So thank you, Dan. I don't know what the question is. I'll look. Full PPR, wide receiver 2, Marvin Harrison, Downs, flex, Chase Brown, Montgomery. So I guess you got to pick one of each.
I'm going with Downs over Marvin Harrison, and then I'd go with Chase Brown over Montgomery.
I really like Montgomery this week, so I'm going to go with Montgomery. Keon or Pittman?
I'm going Pittman there.
I'm gonna go Keon. I'm gonna go Keon Coleman.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna change that. Sorry, I'd go Keon. I was thinking of Cooper being him.
Sutton or Dowdle with Amari Cooper out. Got to go Dowdle, right?
Dowdle. Yep.
All right, we're good. Waddle, Pittman. I'm gonna go Waddle.
Yeah, that's about the Pittman line for me. But yeah, I'd go Waddle.
Yeah, it's kind of the line. Brown, Harrison, Tracy. Sit one. Tracy probably right for you.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. Kincaid or Hawkinson.
I'm going Kincaid.
Okay. A couple more here. Derek, Javante, Ramondre, Rashad, or Dobbs?
I think I'm probably Javante there, but I don't feel particularly good about it. Do you have a strong lean?
I don't have a strong lean on this. He didn't say if it was full PPR. Rashad White could be really nice here. But maybe Rashad or Ramondre Stevenson is like the safe play. Does that sound about right?
Yeah.
All right, this is going to be the last one. Oh God, I'm so sorry. Jason, full PPR, flex, Mooney, Dowdle, Eckler. Got to be Eckler.
Yep, I'm going with Eckler there. Yeah, and I mean, if we didn't get to your question, drop me a line on Twitter, and I'll try and get to him.
Yeah, feel free. Your Twitter NFL_T Strack.
There we go, with the K on the end.
I'll make it a little bit easier, Tom, like that one. NFL_T Strack. But actually, when I say it out loud, it's pretty easy. You can find me at Is It The Welsh. If you guys got some questions, we got another hour till it all starts up. You are more than welcome to send us any of those questions. Also, want to remind you guys to come and check out the Discord, fantasypros.com/chat. More of all of the great chaos is going on over there. We've got live shows every single week. I host all of them pretty much. Monday and Thursdays at 2 p.m. Eastern. Erickson, Pisapia, Bogman, myself. We've got other shows. We've got an amazing community. Start and sit questions are in there. And you have access to us. You can shoot me in line. I actually spent part of yesterday answering questions in my private AMA. Go and check it out today. fantasypros.com/chat. You can sign up for free. And then you can get premium if you want for access to everything, all the things. It's beautiful. Go and do it. Man, thank you guys so much for hanging out. You guys killed it with all of it. Any super chat we did not get to, I apologize. Shout out to Seth on the 1s and 2s running this 2-hour stream. Shout out also to Pat and Mr. Joe Pisapia for running hour 1. We love you guys. Good luck in week 9. Make sure you're locked in with all the Fantasy Pros tools because that will get you covered. You got an hour till lock, so go and get it set. For Tom, I'm Welsh. You guys have a fantastic one, and we will talk to you all week long right here on Fantasy Pros. Peace.